Yo, 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 yo. What's up, traders? Welcome to the Friday night live stream. It's August 23rd. I can see I didn't chroma correctly, but is what it is. I actually adjusted. It looks like the lighting is a little funny. We'll figure it out. But let's just get to it. What's up, everybody? Hope you're all having a good start to the weekend. The SPY is not. The overall market is not. As you can see, it had a fun day. Looked like she was going to try to go. It looked like it was trying to go up. And yeah, Trump said, "Hey, China, what you doing?" Yeah, all right. We don't need you. So, yeah, China's saying they're going to put tariffs on like $75 billion worth of stuff or something. And then Trump's like, well, we don't need you. You know, in the long run, personal opinion, we don't really need China. You know, we can make all the cheap crap that they make in the United States. We just have to build the factories. And, I mean, if we want to become even more powerful than we already are as a nation, I mean, that's what we should do. We should build the factories because then we would just have all the power. We don't need anybody else. But that's not why we're here, although it is a free-for-all tonight. So ask any questions, anything, literally, about anything. What do you want to know? You want to know what I ate for breakfast? I didn't eat anything. I don't eat breakfast. You want to know what I ate for lunch? I ate dumplings. I've ate dumplings every day for lunch the last 3 weeks. They're amazing. Get them at Sam's Club. They're frozen. You stick them in a pan. They sit there for like 11 minutes on medium heat. I like to go like a tad above medium heat because it gets the bottoms nice and crispy. It's in like some kind of magic ice. It melts that ice and it becomes like flavor. They're like flavor crystals. It's amazing. And then it comes with the dipping sauce. Oh, it's so good. So good. What I eat for dinner? Pizza. It's Friday. Duh. Eat pizza every Friday for dinner. It's kind of our family's thing, you know. We started a tradition. We eat pizza for dinner. We walk down, get some froyo. We call it ice cream. Boom. That's Friday night, baby. Then we come home, watch a movie. It's kind of what our family does on Friday nights. Went to Costco and noticed some of the products were made in Thailand, usually made in China. Yeah, it's because we're not taking China shit no more. China, you want to mess around? Guess what? We just won't take your stuff. We don't need you. We don't need you. No China. Don't need you. I mean, pretty sure like 9 out of the 10 things that you pick up on a daily basis are made in China. Like, imagine if we just made the factories to make all the stuff that they make that we buy. I mean, it would just make our economy amazing. Amazing. Where's the beer? It's right here. I did find one beer. I'm sure you can hear it. You can hear it in my voice that I'm just not in a beer drinking mood. But I will say the first $10 donation will get me to get that beer out of the fridge. I just need a little motivation to get the beer out of the fridge. I mean, I'm not really asking you to pay me to drink, but if someone were to generously donate $10 to me, to the channel, to show their support, then I would go get the beer out of the fridge. I would do my best to enjoy it. I do feel okay enough to drink a beer. So if we want to go that route, I'll go that route, you know. I'm still here. I feel like I'm actually alive. I know I don't completely sound it. I sound like I'm a little congested. As you can see, this is just yesterday and today. I mean, this was full. I will say, like, probably, I don't know, like an eighth of those were my son. I've been wiping his nose for most of the morning. But, yeah. So, I guess to open things up, just from a stock standpoint, let's just go over my trade today, right? What? That is weird that it's in lowercase. T and DM, and it's not letting me hit enter. Is it not? I've never seen it come in lowercase like that in the montage. What's wrong with the montage? It's all fake. It's not real. It's Photoshop. I am an idiot. That's because I'm so... Oh my God. That's where the share size goes, Tim. You idiot. I'm so used to my montage being in this general vicinity. Hold on. I figured for the stream, we don't need the time and sales and the order windows and stuff like that. So the montage is usually like right there. But tonight I moved it up a little, so normally I would put the ticker like right in that area. And so that's, yeah, it threw me off a little bit there. All right. So my trade today was on TNDM. It was really the only trade that I saw that was my edge. My edge to really, kind of define it a little bit for anyone that's new here and wants to know is I look for previous day or after hour pre-market highs to get broken and for a stock to go high of day. So as you can see, it kind of dipped down a little bit. Right at the bell, it opened, it started climbing, and then boom, broke through high of day on a high intense move. It was up on the scanner. I pulled it up and I started looking for an entry. I immediately went to the daily on this one. Now, on my daily, it's a little bit more crammed. So it was actually easier. To me, it was easier to see when it was crammed. It's usually right here because, as you can see, my scanners are here. So I immediately saw this $70 level being used as hard resistance. So I don't think I drew that line. No, I didn't draw that line, but it was pretty obvious to me that that's exactly where this was. Let's see. 70. It's actually got the 70.43. That does not. Let's zoom in here. Okay, so maybe it did. So it poked through 70 both times, but then got rejected pretty good. So in my head, I was like, okay, we're going to look to start this around 69 with 50 shares. And in my head, I'm always thinking I want that $100 to kind of be my max loss. So I'm thinking if 50 shares ran from 69 to 70, that's only $50. So if I were to add somewhere in the middle around 55, if I added those other 50 shares, that's another $25. I'd only be at around $75. If it got to that $70 mark, and I would be looking for one last add of 100 shares as it popped through 70, and I would be looking for it to use resistance. Now, keep in mind, this is all on this same up move. I'm not looking for a move and then for it to come down, consolidate a little bit, and then go higher. And that's not what I'm looking for. The only way I'm adding once and then adding a second time is if it's all in that same big up move. I'm not looking for any kind of a pullback consolidation and then to go higher. So we get this big move up. I think it was 92. Yeah, 68.92 was our first entry. It actually got above 69, and I was kind of feeling it out. It actually got all the way up here to 69.41, and it started retracing itself right away. And I kind of got mad at myself. And when it got to 69, I was actually watching it from down here around 68.50, and I was waiting, and I almost got in down here, and I was so glad that I didn't. But when it went all the way up here to 41 and then it came back down and started getting under 69, I was like, I'm not missing this trade. So I hit it. And then, of course, it did come down to like 68.72. I was looking for the bigger move down, decided to continue. Wasn't too mad about it because, again, it's still all in that same move. It comes up here, 69.68. We actually ended up getting 69.55 on this. We put an order in for that one, so that's why we got that fill, which, I mean, as you can see, it's pretty much a top tick. And it decided to go, I think, a little bit higher, 73. And again, we were ready for this thing to just go, extend itself to 70, look for that pop through 70, and get our last add in there. But as you can see, it never did. It started making this move down. We took off some at 69.55, or nope, 69.05, just in case it wanted to try to bounce off the whole dollar. Right as we actually got filled, if you go watch the live trade, it just shot through 69 altogether. And then it continued down, and we ended up getting the last 50 because it was such a big move down. I figured it was going to try to bounce, and this thing just never bounced. So we actually got 73, and it was kind of frustrating because the bid was all the way down at 55. But again, usually when it gets spready like that and it makes a big move down like that, usually we're looking for this thing to kind of bounce back up, but it never did. But we were happy with the overall trade. And on a Friday, to have something move pretty decent like this, pretty happy with it. So on this one, it was, I want to say, let's just find out. I'll tell you, it was in the video. I want to say it was like 9 or something, but for a $68 stock, that's pretty good. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So 8.6. Let me blow it up so you guys can see it. So it's 8.6, 7.6, and I'm sure it goes up from here when it continues. Let's see. 7.3, 6.6, 5.8. So obviously it's going down because it's kind of stopped for a second. I guess it kind of lost its... Well, I fast forwarded there too. But yeah, I guess it didn't come back up on the scanner for that second part of the move. But yeah, it was up there. It was up at 9. So for a $68, $69 stock, getting 9 on the scanner, that's actually pretty good. So let me put this back over here. So yeah, I mean, that was the theory behind my trade today. It was actually a pretty straightforward trade. Wish I would have just held on. Again, I've been working on taking bigger share size, but this was obviously a bigger price stock. I only look up to $80 for my stocks, so this was towards the top of my range. So anything down in like the $30, $40 range, I'm probably taking 75 or 100 to start. But just with the lower account size, just don't want to run into any buying power issues. I probably should figure out like what a good 1124 would be for each price range. That's actually a really good idea, so that I know kind of what my max is. So if I do want to increase, I'll know that my buying power is okay in those situations. I do take more than one trade in a day when it presents itself. Again, if we want to, let's see. So like 3 days ago, it was this Tuesday. I actually took 3 trades. Last week, there was a day I took 2 trades. Here's another one with 2 trades. 3 trades, 3 trades, 2 trades, 2 trades, 2 trades, 2 trades, 3 trades, 3 trades, 2 trades. So, I mean, there's days where I only take 1, and a lot of times the reason I'm only taking 1 is just because it was the only one that really fit my edge, which is what I was trying to show you. And that's kind of what I was getting at is my strategy with these is to really try to nail the top and on a big extension away from that previous resistance, as well as away from VWAP on some, decent volume. And look for it to really retrace back down to that previous resistance to use it as support. And as you can see, that's exactly what it did. And I just wasn't patient enough for it. And it's frustrating because that last cover at, let me fix this, it's going to get on my nerves, at 68.73, and this thing ended up getting all the way down to 67.78. So yeah, a whole nother point I could have got. Even with 25 shares, it's another $25. So a little frustrating. Kenobi, what's up, man? last ad would have been at 70. Where would the take loss spot, and what would the ad amount, and what was the ad amounts again? So I started this with 50, and again, the thought process behind it is I was looking at the range, and I immediately, when I pulled this up, saw the daily, and I saw these two candles recently get rejected right at that, around that $70 mark. So I knew that if I started it at 69 with 50 shares and it went all the way, if those 50 shares went all the way up to $70, that's $50. If I added 50 more shares around the 69.50 area and those went up to $70, that's another $25. So right there we were 75. So the final ad for me on this would have been right through that $70 mark. And whatever the high was on that $70 break, say it got up to like 70.25, we'll just say, and then it came down and made like a move like this. If it decided to consolidate instead of making a big move down like this, it wanted to consolidate and then go higher. 70.25, my stop would be 70.26. Like I would be cutting at high of day there. Because if it wants to consolidate without really getting a pullback, the odds are it's just not done running yet. And I just started this thing way too early. So I'm going to cut my loss and just not fight it, right? No fights. So I would have probably ended up with, say my ad was those 100 shares at like 70.10, and then the high was made at 70.25. You would have to add another $15 to that. So you're looking at a $90 loss on this trade. So really not that bad considering. But again, the way that this was moving, that would have been my strategy. Now, if it would have kept making candles like this one, like if this was another candle here, the same as this one, and then another candle right after that and got up to 70, I'd probably still be looking to add. Like I might have done like a 1-1-2-4 in this case if I could with buying power. Like I said, I need to really figure that out because of how quick the move was. And for anyone that obviously isn't with ISW, we were actually having this discussion in the chat room today where we relate a lot of things to poker when it comes to trading. Sometimes you can have, we'll just give the analogy, if you have a pair of queens in the hole and you flop a full house, say the flop comes queen, king, 2. So, or we'll just do queen, 2-2. So you flopped a full house with queens, and then say the turn is a king, and then the river is another king or something like that. You know, you still have really good odds of winning the hand, but you can still lose. So it's like, are you going to put all your money in the middle based on the sole fact that you might still lose, you know? So it's all about the risk management of like what types of plays. Like if this started kind of going sideways, you know, it's not really like a pocket queens kind of hand. It's more of like a, I don't know, like a jack 10 or something. I don't know. But, you know, if it's making a move straight up, you're willing to throw more money at it because that's your pocket queens, pocket kings, pocket aces. Like they're the moves you're looking for, those big high intense moves. So that's kind of a way to get at it. What's up, Kenobi? How you doing, man? Hope you're having a good night. Good start to the weekend. Any more questions about my trade today? I enjoyed this trade. This was actually a fairly stress-free trade to me. Wasn't oversized. You know, it never really gave me a reason to not trust it. You know, I followed my plan. It worked out. The only thing I could have done differently was maybe took half here instead of the full thing. That was really the only thing. And then just set it at high of day. And when I would have set that at high of day and it continued like this, I probably would have took it right when it got to this previous resistance. And that would have been the end of the trade for it would have been an extra $25. So it would have put me at my quota for the day. Actually a little bit over it, which we're going to up that coming here pretty soon. Once I feel better, I plan to do it this week, but I just felt like absolute crap all week. So I really kind of took it easy this week. And so to be green each day this week, can't be too upset about that, except for the one day I didn't trade. That day was, I think it was just a slow day. This whole week has actually been pretty slow overall in the market. So yeah, All right, free for all. Who's got some questions? Ask me anything. I already went over what I ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm in my boxers. They're blue. I don't really know what else I can. My baseball team made it to the championship. We start Sunday. It's a best of 3 series. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Drama on YouTube. Some other day traders. That's always fun. Been watching this guy. I used to attempt to pick locks as a hobby. Seriously, as a hobby. And I'm actually pretty good at it. And then I found this guy called Lock Picking Lawyer. He's pretty cool. The dude's amazing. He can pick anything. I'd be scared of that guy. He's like the guy like from the Oceans movies or something. He's like that guy that you have, he's the specialty guy in that situation. Pretty crazy. Yeah, he's awesome. I was just watching, he just posted that new video today where they were shooting that really big lock. The one that, what's it called? Where is it? There it is. The BMG. Oh no, that's the 50 BMG versus the strongest. He just calls it the strongest padlock in the world. Is it the Squire?
Like what happened?
This is what it ended up looking like. Here's what it looked like before they started. Yeah, they were using like armor piercing bullets and stuff. Pretty crazy. Dash Trader Pro orders window on each screen to how to do it. Like, how do you put 2 order screens on each window? Don't believe you can. I think you can only have one of like each of these. So orders. And if I try to open another one, yeah, it's just let me see if I pop it out. Like if I move it over. Order. Yeah, see, it just pulls up the same screen. So, sorry, Thomas, you can only have one. Yeah, I guess I haven't really updated you guys since we started with the $5,000. We're actually up to 5408. This is after 1 month, so they took 150 out from the fees. So technically we're up, $568 or $58? And they're about to take another 150 out at the beginning of this month. So hopefully we can keep racking it up so that when they take them fees out, it won't hurt so much. That's kind of another reason I want to start scaling up, just so that these fees and stuff don't really matter as much. Yeah, we're getting there. Another cool thing to show you guys. I was just showing everybody in the chat room today. But yeah, here's my overall trading journey. So we started back on this. Actually, I would say August 21st was the first day that we traded. So as of Wednesday, we are a year old in the stock market as far as live account goes. And yeah, so that was our first day of trading right there. Bada boom. And then NEWA kind of saved us. At the end of this day, we kind of just YOLO'd. We ended up, NEWA just sold off. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. This thing back here in August of last year. Yeah, look at this. It went from $29.69 to $8.61. And I could pull it up, but I'm pretty sure I bought, I think it was at like $9.20 or something like that. I actually tried to buy 200. This all actually happened in the after hours. This literally happened. It was like moments after the bell rang. And I remember trying to buy 250 shares at 9. it was like 9 something. I think I only got like 25 of them. And then I ended up saying, screw it. And I tried to get the other 225 and I only got like 150 of them at like 970 or something like that. Well, I woke up the next morning and this thing was all the way up. When I woke up, it was at $13. And I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. And so I'm sitting there and I'm brand new. Like I was on Shirt Trader. This is literally my second day. I just woke up. I'm sitting there trying to sell. It's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, sell. Like I was like up $1,000 or whatever it was. I was up $1,000 at one point. And I'm just like, I'm trying to sell. I'm like, it won't let me sell. I'm like trying to call Shirt Trader. They're closed. I'm asking people in one of the Discords I was in at the time. And they're like, I don't know. Well, the noob in me didn't know that Shirt Trader's hours, they didn't even open up to trade until 8 o'clock. Well, by the time 8 o'clock rolled around, the stock had already came back down to like, I think it was like $10.30 or something like that. But then around like 8:30, it actually went back up to like $11, and I ended up selling all my shares there. So that's the curve that you see on that second day. This big move back up was pretty much all from the NUA trade. Let's see. So my very first trade ever was TNXP, lost $275. The very next trade was on Cron, $128, JMU, $561, and then WMLP, $177. And then that was the NEWA trade. And then I keep in mind, look at how many shares I was trading on these. I was completely brand new. Look at that, 2,500 shares. Now, keep in mind, I was finding stocks that didn't really move that much. They weren't like super low floats that were, I guess they were, but they weren't like moving super fast when I was getting into them. I was looking for like the lower risk trades, but look at the commissions I was paying on these. Like I was paying $50 in commissions on my first day because I had absolutely zero idea what I was doing. This is why you should paper trade when you first start. Literally, like just don't think that you can just jump right into this without at least a little bit of practice, like just to figure everything out. And yeah, this is when the pot stocks were really hot too. So that's when Cron was moving a lot. But yeah, I ended up getting lucky with Uxin the very next day. As you can see, again, I was 500. Yeah, this was my first ever short. I was just like, oh, let me try the short. Ended up adding into it. Look how close my ads were. 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. Like, thankfully, this thing worked out. It was just absolutely nuts how stupid I was. But yeah, anyways, back up to the curve. As you can see, I had some ups and downs. I started to figure it out. This was literally just trading support and resistance. But it was just with such bad risk management. Like I was, I was like a 55% win kind of guy. And then I think this big jump was just like a big pre-market mover that I got real lucky on. It was a low float where I jumped in like on the pop of high of day, and thankfully it just kept going, buy higher, sell higher kind of thing. And it was just stupid. And then it was a lot of luck involved in here. And then I don't know what loss this was, December 7th. It was a bigger one, obviously. Let's see. December 7th. I don't see anything in there. Oh, this is when I went from Shirt Trader to IB, and I was trying the PDT thing. Just because I knew that I was trading too much size. I was literally trading 500 shares just because I was getting charged $5 every ticket. So I was like, well, if I'm going to get charged at least a penny per share on 500 shares, I might as well use the 500 shares. Like that was my thought process. And I started to realize, okay, that's going to really bite me in the ass. So I was like, you know what, let me just go find a broker. I'll trade under PDT for a while, try swing trading, like, cause I wasn't really enjoying trading the way that I was. It wasn't enjoyable to me. Just trading support resistance and just only winning 55% of the time. Like it just, I don't know. I just wasn't having fun with it. And, so I was like, all right, well, let me go try swing trading. And that lasted pretty much two trades, ASNS and TYME. They were both just multi-week grinders. I ended up holding these for like a long time. Like I started these things super small and just ended up, like, I remember, I shorted 500 shares of this thing. And then I ended up just adding slowly and slowly and slowly. And then I started scaling out once I realized this thing was just grinding, and it was over days. I mean, look, I started this thing on November 28th, and then it just went to the December 7th. And this is one of them ones that really ticked me off because look where it's at now. It's down at a freaking $1. But yeah, this is back. This was, it was right here. I got in on this day, this big squeeze, and I got in right around where I was looking at this on the daily, and look at it. It wasn't falling. And then of course, literally I got out, I think on this day when it's finally started coming back down, and then look at what it did 2 days later. I was so freaking pissed. Or no, it wasn't that day. It was here back in December. Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Like I said, the multi-week grinder. Yeah, and then ASNS was the other one. But as you can see, like right after I got out as it was coming down this little bit here, and then I was actually not a bad exit because it went higher. But then, I remember after that, look at what it did. ASNS was the other one. And this was, I got in on this day. And it kind of came back, but my average was bad. I was down in like 350, I think it was, or no, 250, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah, because I know it never came back down to my average. And then it went again, and then as you can see, it just went sideways. It just wasn't one that was giving up, and then as you can see, it finally did over here, but it never really went down that far. And I remember that was actually a smaller loss because I took it when it was down near the lows on this day. I think it was actually on this day. 276. So that one wasn't horrible. But yeah, that was, I went to PDT there, and then I was like, screw that. I came back to SureTrader because I was like, I can't do that. I'm going to be a day trader. And then I found OCX, and then, that sucked. That was like literally, I found OCX, like, I think it was like the first or second day I started talking to Brian from ISW. And this was like when I wanted to start my YouTube channel. And this was the first thing I showed him, was how I can lose $649 on OCX. It should be right here. $1,250. It just went down to negative 600 and some dollars overall. So I went from up 600 overall to down 649, all in one trade. That was such a hard trade. I ended up holding that one for days. I didn't know, I had no risk management in play. Like I said, this was all just luck. This was just luck that I didn't blow up. And then this was all luck getting back up here. And to be honest, I'm almost happy that I had this OCX trade. It really was a wake-up call. And then I found ISW, and as you can see, it took me a little bit to kind of figure it out, and then I started to figure it out, and look at this. But then I never really knew how to lose with my new strategy, and then this was MTSI. MTSI really humbled me and said, hey, you need to figure out how to, get a game plan going when you are going to lose, because it is a lower loss percentage strategy. So when you do lose, you need to know how to lose. And fighting grinders like MTSI is not how you're supposed to lose. And I'm starting to realize that. So if we bring back up TNDM real quick, that's why when you get these big moves up, if it would have started to consolidate right around here and went higher, that's why you cut, because that's the potential that this thing's just going to grind, right? So by realizing that earlier and earlier, you're going to take losses. Like in this case, it would have been like a $60 loss. Actually, not even. It would have been like a $40 loss. But that's better than, letting this grind, then go up to 70, adding 100, and then grinding up to 750. Now you're down $150, and then it goes sideways. You add, say you do the 200 shares there. And then it grinds up to $71. And then now you're really down. What's that? That's like almost $300 when you could have just cut it for $40 all the way back here and just completely been done with the trade looking for something else. Instead, you're fighting a trade that you shouldn't have been fighting in the first place. So yes, I really feel that we've come a long way. And as you can see, since that MTSI trade, I actually took a month off, like right in here. I think it was the whole month of June. Yep. Because we realized after this loss, our funds were so low in the account, we weren't able to really trade how you should be trading the strategy. So we took the month off, gathered some funds back up. We added it to start at $5,000 on the account exactly, just to give us a relevant base point throughout this journey. And we came back July 1st, and as you can see, since July 1st, we did take a loss. I think it was our first day back. Let me see. Nope, we actually had some small wins, but then, oh yeah, the KPTI trade. That was such crap. That was really a broker deal that they really kind of screwed me on. So yeah, that first little dip was, I don't really consider my fault, but you know, it is what it is. We overcame it. And we fought our way back. And as you can see, since then, we've really been on a nice little uptrend. And we're $16.38 from being a break-even overall trader from the beginning of our journey. And what do most people tell you when you first start trading, all these gurus? You know, it's not about being a profitable trader in your first year. It's about learning how to stay afloat and just break even. So we did it. We're there. We're right at break even, a year in, and I really think that we have a very good understanding of what's going on, and I think we might just make a run for this thing. So stay tuned. All right, let's catch up. How is the research on a good trading journal going? You know, I looked into some other trading journals. I know GDT uses Edgewonk. I downloaded the free trial of that. I didn't really like it that much. I just didn't like the layout of it. I tried TraderView for a little bit. I don't know. The stocktrader.com, it's just simplistic. You put your trades in. It shows you what you need to know. I mean, if you really want to break it down to like winners, losers, stuff like that, I mean, you can. So that is, I don't know. This tells you everything you need to know. I always put my notes in here. I didn't put them in today. This whole week, I've just been putting the charts in. I haven't really been there. So I really did fall behind on my journaling this week. But again, that's kind of part of the YouTube channel as well. Just to have it to go back on. I can always watch that back if I really need to. But yeah, this has what it needs. It has your execution. If you want to put the times in there, you can. I found that when you put the times in, that's really only for their chart. It doesn't really do anything unless you really want to know like what time you made the trade. I guess in that point, you could just put the first one in, or just, I guess, for average time in the trade. But I don't really care about that too much. And then you put your notes in. If you want to tag the trade for whatever reason, you have your picture of the chart. So it has what I want it to have. And I don't know. I like manually putting everything in because it makes you... no, stocktrader.com does not let you import. And again, that's kind of... I know some other people have talked about this too. But manually putting everything in, it really kind of forces you to like relive the trade in your head. So that's kind of something I actually agree with because it lets you, kind of really think out the trade and, why you made the trade, what you could have did different, what you did right, all that good stuff. So she showed you how to lose, sucker. How you like me now? Yeah. Hey, a lot of people will tell you that just like any other job, there's a learning curve. You got to learn how to do your job. And, I like to call those losses just like if you're going to college, or just the school in general. You call it tuition, right? So every time you lose, if you're not learning from your losses, then something's wrong. Every time you lose, and every time you win for that matter, you should be trying to figure out how to win more and how to lose less every time. That's the whole point of this. So if you're not learning something every day, then you're not doing it correctly. You should always be learning. So what prompted you to sell that last time on the TNDM trade, and why is the first one so close to break even average? So if we scroll in just a little bit, the first one it's actually not that close to the break even. God dang it. I was just trying to scoot over. So it's really actually not that close to the break even average, because since this arrow is at, because my first entry was at 68.92. So my average, here we can just bring the calculator up. So if we do 68.92 plus 69.55 divided by 2. So my average was 69.23.5. So the 69.05 was actually covered almost 20 cents under my actual average. The reason it was here, I actually put this order in, if you go back and watch the video, just in case it wanted to bounce off the whole dollar, because it did kind of stop. I was actually on the bid, 69.05, for like a good 10 seconds, and then all of a sudden it just flushed through and I got filled. And then this was such a quick move down. If there's anything that we know from ISW is that if there's an intense move one way or the other, the odds are it's going to shoot back the other way. It's actually pretty rare that you see it do this, like where it makes the intense move kind of, I wouldn't say grinds, but it just kind of slowly makes the move up. I guess that is kind of grinding in a way, but it just never really made a pullback. And then you get the big intense move down, and pretty much with no pop back up, it just continued down. And I saw VWAP was right there as well. So I kind of went for the exit there. That was all. It was just a quick move down. Didn't want it to pop up against me. The spread was kind of bad. It was like 20, 25 cents pretty much at all times. So when I saw it drop down, because I actually had an order in at 76 and the bid went through it. It like went down to 60. So it didn't fill me. So I just took it off and waited for because the ask was still at like 90 at that point. And then the ask dropped down to like 73 and it was just sitting there. And I was like, oh crap, this was a big move down. I'm just going to take it at 73 because it might just pop right back up to 69. Like it's 30 cents that I could lose, in a second. And that happens all the time. If you go back and watch a lot of my videos, there's times where I'll exit on a big intense move like this, and then it pops right back up pretty hard the other way. So that was just to explain the exits there. They say to recycle your profits. What do you mean recycle your profits? As in like start using your profits to up your trades per se? There is a guy that I follow on Twitter that does that. He essentially starts with 0 R on the week. So if on the first day he gets 1 R, he'll use that 1 R plus his normal risk as his new risk for day 2. And then say he makes 2 R on day 2, he now has 3 R plus his normal risk on day 4. So it's essentially he has 4 R. And return the profits to the market. But then on day 3, he'll have 4 R. Like say he makes 4 R on the third day. Now he has 8 R actually he would have 9 R essentially on the fourth day. And he basically tries to compound it every day. So it's actually an interesting way to do it. He's almost like martingaling it like with house money per se. It's an interesting way to do it, but I mean, hey, if it works, it works. And for him, I mean, if what he's doing is actually legit real money, then it's working, because I see him post it all the time. I don't remember his name though. I just see his charts all the time. And of course, I don't even remember seeing one today. I wonder if he blew up. Just kidding. I'll have to find, if somebody's actually interested, I'll have to find him. But yeah, it's pretty interesting how he does that. I mean, essentially, it could work. But again, it only really takes, like if you're doing it that way, you're essentially not locking in gains for the week, I guess is the best way to put it. Because, if you're always risking the same amount to hit that break-even point, essentially, then like if you're always risking to the point where you'd be down that 1R, it's not like eventually if you do lose even just once throughout the week, you're losing all of it, essentially. Yeah, I'll find it for you, Thomas. I'll sit here and scroll. Since some people were rolling in here, anybody have any questions? Feel free, ask questions. Today, this is more of something I don't usually do. Usually we have a subject at hand, but I just figured, I wasn't feeling that great. Didn't really want to try to go too in depth without having the full capacity of my brain going. So I figured we'd just come here and free for all it. I didn't mention that if you do use tissues, use puffs, and make sure you get the plus lotion. You know how if you blow your nose over and over again, you start to, feel it. Well, with those plus lotions, man, you can blow your nose a million times and you never feel it. It's amazing. So I'll sit here and scroll looking. Oh, did I find one? I think this is him. I think this is the guy, but this isn't the right picture. Let me see. Dun, dun, dun. No, this isn't the guy. Wonder, is this the guy? Dun, dun, dun. I hate how on Twitter you can't pull up like all their images. It's kind of annoying. I think this is this. I do use the 200 EMA, but only on the daily. I don't use it anywhere else. The only thing I use on my charts is ViewApp. Excuse me. Wonder if Stan's on. I'm gonna ask Stan. Pretty sure he knows who it is, because I was talking to him about it. Stan Glusman, guys, by the way, over at 7 Points Capital. You should go check him out on Twitter. He's a really good person to follow. Oh, I think I found it. Yeah. Let's see. I think this is the guy. Yeah, here it is. Brian Lee Trades. Now, I think it was a challenge that he was doing where he was like just trying this out. But you can kind of scroll through if you want to keep checking it out. I have one montage on my main screen, and then during the open, I have 4 charts on another screen, all with, here, I can probably show you. I actually don't think, let me figure this out. I can show you, just let me figure it out. First, let me open it. Top left screen. So I got to make one for bottom left screen. So display capture, bottom left. Boom. Okay, so you guys should be able to see that. So that's my other trading screen. I guess I don't have... Yeah, okay. So you can't see me right now, but yeah. So this is right next to my other screen. And yeah, so that's what my other screen looks like in the morning. And then my main screen looks like, wait. Oh, bottom right screen, bottom left. Oh, it's because I had it up there. If I put it down here, And I get rid of that. There we go. Okay, so now you can see me. So yeah, this is my other screen. And then this is what my main screen looks like. So I'll have my ISW scanners here. And then obviously I have the other scanners up on top right. And then here I have my daily, the 2-minute chart, time and sales, montage, time, and then orders pending. This is my active orders. So like if I'm in a trade, this is where it would show up. And then here's just all my orders down here. So that's everything that I have up. Trade like a ginger. I'm just going to dye all of my hair, all of it. Eyebrows, mustache. I'll even get some up my nose. I'm just going to make it all red. Just be a ginger. Let's see. Use a mic as a clown nose. Mic cover. Just be complete redhead. You know, I can do the walking man, but really have room. Green screen's like right. See if you can see me touch it. Can't. I guess obviously you can't see me touch it because it's blending in. But yeah, red equals green. Eh? Those guys are proving it, man. Mr. Avery, he's been on a scoop attack. I don't know where that came from either. He was shorting stocks, and then out of nowhere, he just started scooping everything. I am like the opposite of a long bias trader. I just have no faith in going long ever. Yeah, too many gingers on YouTube already. You know, I guess Wieland is kind of a ginger too, isn't he? Yeah, there's definitely too many on there. That Wieland guy, man, he's an interesting one. Getting called out by Mr. Guru Leaks. He's a paper trader. Mr. Guru Leaks said, "You a paper trader." If you go back, I actually the other day. If you go back and look at all the times, because everyone's like, oh, he posts broker statements. Well, if you go back and look at all of the times he posted broker statements, they're all like crap broker statements. Like one time he posted it and he even says like, I'm not making any money being a day trader. He made like $500 over the course of, I don't know, it was like 9 or 10 months. And then the one he posted, it was like $12,000 for the year or something like that. And it's, you know, right after that, he blew up his like $1,000 account. So it's like, wait a minute, something doesn't add up. Where did the $12,000 go? Unless he withdrew it or whatever. And then it's kind of funny that pretty much right after he blew up the $1,000 account, now he's making these $1,000 to $2,000 trades like every other day. When before, if you go look at all of the statements that he posted, he never made a trade that was plus or minus over like $370. So it's kind of interesting. Guru Leaks might be onto something. Might have to stay tuned for that. I like any way I can get. Any way you can get what? The green? I think that's why we're all here, right? We're all here to get the green. Let me go back to my the other setup. Just live stream. There we go. Much better. A lot more real estate. I cannot wait to get better monitors. What kind of monitors do you all use? I have 4. They're all Dell monitors. They were all Black Friday specials. But just the response time on them is just so slow. I think they're like 8 milliseconds or something like that. The ones up top are 1920 by 1080, and then the bottom ones are 1920 by 1200s. So that's always fun too. Like if I want to record my scanner screen, it's different than my regular screen. So like it messes with OBS, and I have it set up separately. 2x2 config, 224-inch, 223-inch. Yeah, these are all 20. These 21s, 20. I think they're 23s. Here, I can just tell you. They are 24. So they're 24 inches. Yeah, this is my TV over here because I use my computer for everything. Use it as an entertainment system pretty much as well. For the kids, for the wife, Netflix, Plex, all that good stuff. But yeah, I want to get like one of them really nice, what are they? Like I want something with low response time, just for like gaming. Cause like when I play Rocket League, you can sense the like stuttering, and it's not because of the internet. It's just because of the monitors. Like the monitors are holding it back. But I want I just want 2 of the really long widescreen monitors. Let me see. Widescreen. Let's just do widescreen gaming monitor. Yeah, with the ultra wides. Yeah, like something like these. Yeah, the curved ones. But see, 34 inches I don't think would be wide enough. Like I would want like the really nice one. Let's see what his 59-inch. That's what she said. Ultra wide. I mean, that's going to be too big though, right? Let's just do ultra wide gaming monitor. See what they got. So, geez, look at it, 49 inches. But yeah, look the resolution on these things too. Like, I always feel like the monitors that I have, the resolution's just not big. Like, it's not big enough. I don't have enough real estate. Because, like, if you ever look at, like, let's pull up one of GDT's videos. And like if you look at his screen, just like how much real estate he has on his trading screen. Like he's got 3 different charts here, time and sales all up and down, like all these different windows with like a lot of size in them. It's like I need something with all that. Like, and it's just crazy. That's what I want. I need something with a lot more size in it. That's what she said. 4x24 inch equal 48-inch 4K screen. But are they all 4K monitors? Yeah, I know he has it listed somewhere what he's using. I haven't taken a look. But I was actually just telling Thomas earlier that I can't upgrade to any of these until I earn it. So these are all just kind of dreams at this point. But yeah, I want something with low response time. Obviously, the 144 hertz would be really nice. Yeah, I think because I actually think I might have got them from Amazon. Let me see. That's not what I wanted. Yeah. These are the Black Friday ones that I got. Let's see. It is 60 hertz. And yeah, that's what I was talking about, the refresh rate. But it's done that, and the response time, they're kind of hand in hand. I want to say this was like 8 to 1. Why is it not going to tell me? Yeah, there it is, 8 millisecond response time. So it's like when you're scrolling down like a page or something, it kind of, it's like a little laggy per se, instead of being smooth, like it's choppy, versus the smoothness. So the refresh rate and milliseconds. I'm not a big person. Like, I'm a pretty big tech person, but I was never really like into monitors per se. Like, I remember back when I was really into my gaming days, and what were those the gaming monitors that just came out? They were like the only ones that were 120 hertz at the time. What's the name of them? See if it's on here. No. CRT monitor. A lot of people would still use CRT monitors because no one could match for like the flat screen monitors. You couldn't beat those. The CRTs were just no one wanted to carry CRT monitors around. And of course that was back when I was big into LANing, like going to LAN tournaments and stuff. You'd be carrying this big old CRT monitor around. I'm trying to think of the name of no input lag, and it's crazy. It was the name of the company that came out with them first, but they were like super expensive because they were the first ones to come out with 120 hertz. I know once I see it, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, BenQ. There it is. It was BenQ. It was like they were the first ones to come out with the 120 hertz monitors, and they were like $500-$600. And I was like, bro, I can get like a $40 CRT monitor that does the same thing. I just have to lug it around. Like, come on. All right, who has a question? Give me a question, somebody. Stock related, monitor related. Yeah, I've been building my own PCs for the last, built my first one sophomore year of high school. That was in 2001. So 18 years. I've been building computers for 18 years. I've actually only built 4 computers. I always like to try to future-proof my computers without using the top of the line stuff. Like, I always use like last year's stuff to build my computers when I do. And so it usually costs me like $1,000 to build the top of the line computer from the year before, when top of the line stuff will cost you like $3,000-$4,000. So that's always what I've done. And my computers have always lasted for, on average, almost 5 years. So, and usually the only reason I upgrade is because like some new game come out. Like, the reason I upgraded to this computer was because the virtual reality came out, and I bought an Oculus, and my old computer just couldn't handle it. So I decided to build a new one, and until the next reason comes along, I don't really see this computer needing to be upgraded. I have a 1080 in there, and everything else is just pretty darn good. There's not going to be a reason to upgrade unless something crazy comes out that I absolutely need, and I don't really see that happening anytime soon. Come on, guys. Free for all. Help me out. Give me something. You guys disappeared on me. Who's all in here? It says there's 9 of you in here. Everybody say hi. Give me a smiley face. What are these? Give me an eggplant emoji. How big is your eggplant? Kenobi's in here. I know An's in here. I know Thomas is in here. I don't know if Mr. Wired Day Trader's still in here. Who are the other people? Can't really be making you stick around with all this awesome talk. I need you guys to help me out tonight. Actually, we've already been going for an hour. Jeez. Yikes. Asus 1920 by 1080 IPS. So yeah, that's a pretty standard one. What size? That's the other thing I kind of really, now that my youngest is standing up, he can reach the top of my desk, and he's starting to always knock my stuff off, like my phone. I always have a baseball. I'm a pitcher, so I always am like just fiddling. Like, instead of a stress ball, I always just have a baseball. I'm like always like just going through my grips and stuff. And he is always like just knocking my stuff off, and I'm like, dang it, kid. And so it's only a matter of time before he can like reach like the mic and my keyboard and stuff like that. And I'm just like, come on. The only trading book that I've actually read, and I actually do recommend it. I didn't read it. I listened to it. Is Trading in the Zone by, is it Mark Douglas? And I actually have that listed on my, like if you go to my channel, you go to playlist. Yeah, I have it under here. And this is not the one. Where did this come from? Oh, I added this one because this was the next one I wanted to listen to. But if you go, as you can see, it's by Mark Douglas. So yeah, it's the full audio book. It's 8 hours long, but I would just kind of piece at it whenever I had a chance. Sometimes I would just listen to an hour before bed, or something like that. But it's a really good book. It actually really helped me. I listened to this right after the OCX trade, and because the guys from ISW are actually the ones that turned me onto it, and it was definitely a good listen. So yeah, that's the one I would recommend to start if you haven't already. Where did I learn my setups? ISW. ISW has really kind of been my savior. Paul, do you mean like actually live? Because I mean, no, not at the current moment. When my kids are both in school, when they're both away for the day, I actually do plan on, I don't know if any of you guys watch Trading Monkey, but kind of like what he's doing right now is actually what I plan to do maybe once or twice a week, where I'll open up live stream, and for like the first 30 minutes from 9:30 to 10 o'clock, I'm going to get and trade live. So I really think that'll be nice to have, because it really won't change anything for me, because I'll just be doing everything the same, but it'll allow people to kind of see how everything works live, and you'll just see that. I mean, it's going to be pretty much the same as watching my videos, because when I post the live trades, you're seeing that anyway. But yeah, it'll be pretty cool to have everybody there. I probably won't be paying attention to you because I'll be focused on actually trading. and any other focus that I do have is usually with the ISW guys. So Swedish investor. There's a couple guys on YouTube that I have them on there, but I don't really pay attention to them. I actually just went through a big purge of my the people I'm subscribed to. So yeah. Live trading is hurting his performance. Monkey? Yeah. He gets too easily distracted. I've actually tried talking to him privately a couple times when he's kind of reached out, and his heart's there. That's for sure. He's definitely got the heart of Rocky Balboa, but I mean, and he's definitely putting in the work. But it's almost like he's putting in the work, but he's not really moving forward too much. So it's hard to, yeah. There's a lot of people on YouTube that are that way. And one of the guys that he actually talks to a lot, learning to day trade, Tom, if you noticed, he kind of stopped posting videos. And the reason he stopped posting videos was exactly that. Like, he felt like he was forcing trades just for YouTube. And if you notice with me, I'm actually really good at that. Like, sometimes I'll say I'm sorry because I didn't trade today or something like that, but I'm not going to force trades just for YouTube. Like, the whole reason I even started YouTube was really to document my journey. It wasn't to appease other people of showing trades all the time. So if you don't want to watch my $10, $20, $30 winners now, then, I don't really care if you are watching when I'm eventually making $1,000 a trade, in the distant future, if that ever happens. So it's like, this is my journey. If you want to follow along, of course I want you to join, and I'm going to appreciate that support. But if you're only here just to see like big trades or big losses and stuff like that, then, whatever. That's not who I am. And if you kind of get sucked into that on the tube, then you're probably not gonna make it very far trading, because you're doing it for the wrong reasons. What would be the min list of stuff someone would need to start a YouTube channel? It's a good question. Honestly, I don't think you need a camera. You don't need it. Especially like if you're someone that wants to be a little bit more private. I do highly recommend a microphone. I think I have all this listed down in the description. Let me pull this up. So let me pause that. Yeah. So I have, and yes, these are affiliate links. So if you were to buy something off here, I would get some small, stupid percentage. But this is the green screen that I use. It's really nice because I'm in a really small house. So to be able to take this down every day and then put it back up, whenever I need it, it just lays on the floor. And yeah, it's really nice. But it's definitely not required. You don't even need a camera. And you would only need this if you have a camera and you don't want everything behind you, which you see sometimes, like on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I have both kids. I can't get the green screen out. It's just not possible with them. But I did a ton of research with microphones. A lot of people love the Snowball microphones. Is it Yeti, or I think it's the Yeti? But I found that this is like one of the best microphones you can get. It's around the same price as the Snowball, or I think it's called the Blue Yeti Snowball or something like that. But this microphone has just been amazing. And then obviously you can get like these guys. There was like a pack of, you get like all different colors, yellow, red, black. It was like a 5-pack orange. It was like for like $3 or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, here it is right here. Let's see. Yeah, okay, it's $6. I think I paid less than that. It might have been. No, it looks like it's always been that price. So it was a 5-pack for $6.50. It's not bad. The arm stand, it's not necessary, but it's real nice to be able to kind of move this thing around versus having it stuck on your desk. Plus, you can get it closer to your mouth, so it's it just sounds better. And it's relatively inexpensive. It was only $12.50. Yeah, let's see, Blue Yeti. That's what that's called. That's the one most people get. But if you just go on YouTube and you do like a Blue Yeti versus Samson, like I must have watched probably 50, 60 hours of just comparison videos of these microphones in like the $50, $60, $70 range. And to me, the Samson just it came out on top. These are the headphones I use. I bought these headphones a while ago, back when they were brand new. They were $300 when I bought them. I love these headphones. They're so amazing. They're audiophile type headphones. Like if you're really big into listening to music, like I am, these are just amazing. I tried to get into contact with them, telling them that I wear their headphones in my videos every day, trying to get an upgrade to the wireless ones, just so I wouldn't have this cord here all the time. And just to get a little bit of an upgrade because they have new drivers in the new ones, and it'd be really nice. Technically, I can trade these in. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. And I would get half off of the new ones. So again, that's probably something I'll do if they don't, because I just haven't gotten a response from them. Again, none of this is stuff that you really need. The only thing I would say that you would need is the microphone. And a windscreen is really good because it really keeps, I have tested this where like if I take the windscreen off, and I start saying like my S's and like Z's and stuff like that, you can really hear the difference with just this little windscreen on it, which is pretty cool. There's my monitors, the mounts, my mouse. I love this thing. It's just the compressed. It's like your own compressed air, just for dust, cleaning out your keyboard, stuff like that. I've had that thing forever. And then I don't know where this is currently. My little one loves this thing. But when I first started trading, every time I would get out of a trade and I would win, I would just hit that button. It was always, I've actually had this thing since pretty much since high school, because I used to take it to LANs with me, and the premise behind it was I used to play Counter-Strike a lot. So if I would kill somebody at the end of a round or something and we were at LAN, I would hit the button and it would just piss them off so bad. It was so funny. It was kind of just like an insult, basically, is how it started. But yeah, that button is so old. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So to answer your question, I would say CRCT. Who's behind it? I don't know. Is it Adachi? Adachi? I think. Is that how do you pronounce it? But yeah, I would say the microphone is really the only thing. But if you do get like the webcam I got, it's fairly inexpensive for a 1080p webcam. It only streams 720 though, but it's actually really nice. And with that, I got the light. I don't want to hold it up because it might blind me, but this thing's really nice. It does change the lighting really well. You can contour it to you. Like if you are pale, you can use like the more yellow light. If you're tan, you can use the more LED type looking light. As you can see here, just for like different exposures and stuff like that. And I have used it just to like take pictures on my desk of random crap that I was trying to sell on Facebook or whatever. But yeah, well, that's it. I would say just the mic to really get started. And then if you really like it and want to get into it, you can always kind of expand. For me, I just got a mic and screen share software. Yeah, well, yeah. You obviously need the software. And that's where OBS comes in. I think OBS is really just the easiest. And I guess if you need to edit your videos, you would need something like that. I used to use Vegas editing software, and then I started using Adobe, and I really started to like Adobe a lot more. So Adobe Premiere, so that's what I use now. Camtasia is okay. I messed around with that for a little bit here and there back in the day. Wasn't a huge fan. I don't know. I grew to like Adobe. It's kind of what most people use. It's very popular. It's easy to look up stuff real quick if you don't know how to do something, et cetera, et cetera. I'm confused. Should I sell my position with loss 25 cents instead of add to my loss position, and I can come back again when I feel it's okay? What's your opinion? Well, that all depends. And real quick, do they have a buy and sell easy button? That'd be pretty interesting. It's a business idea. Where did all my charts and stuff go? It's a little frustrating. Can't forget my clock. So, let's just, we'll just go back to the NDM. So, should I sell my position, lost 25 cents instead of add? So, as you can see here, I added, but the reason I added is because it was still making the intense move up, and it was still extending itself away from a previous resistance, which is what I look for, and it was extending its way away from VWAP. Now, say you had this entry here at 68.92, it goes all the way up to 69.41 after the fact. And in this case, it actually went to 69.41, and I actually got in after that. I was being lazy. But if it were to consolidate right here at 69 and then go higher, I mean, the odds are you shouldn't be looking to add there, because it's looking to go higher after it consolidated. But if like you took a position here and it just kept climbing like it did here, I have no problem adding to the position because the odds are in your favor that it's still going to make some sort of pullback. Especially, and that's why I don't trade, and this we'll get into why I feel okay doing this, because then people will always ask when I do this, well, what if it just keeps going? Well, yeah, you always risk that. But again, when I first got into this, the reason I took 50 shares is, if you remember, I told you I was risking off that $70 area. So risk management should always be in your head before you just jump into a trade, and with your sizing. So if it were to just keep going up to 70, I was okay with that. Obviously, in this case, it didn't. But say it just kept going all the way up to 71. Well, guess what? If it's all in one move, I feel okay with that because it's an intense move. Because let me ask you a question. Besides low floaters, let's say low floaters are completely out of the question here because I don't trade those. Say we're talking like 50 million in the float plus. How many times have you seen a stock with over 50 million share float just go from, say, $68? As you can see, the range of the stock, like the moves that it was kind of making. So you can kind of tell the range on this, like the max range on this was like $4 or $5, say $6. What are the odds of this thing? It already made a $3, $4 move, just going up another $10. Like, people are always throwing out the hypotheticals, like, well, what if it goes to $80? Well, guess what? I've pretty much, I'm picking stocks that I know the odds of it doing that are like just not going to happen, right? It's like 0.001%. So that's why you don't play the low floaters, like your Hunts and your Tilrays, like all the ones that have like the lower floats that can do that. Because then you can get caught in those situations where the float's so small that if you just run into a wrong spot where everyone's just buying and there's nobody selling or shorting, it can do that. But when you have a bigger float and the liquidity's there at every single level, you can't just plow through and go straight to 80. It's just not going to happen. And on top of that, when have you ever seen something just go literally straight up, right? Like just straight up. It just doesn't happen. The stock market works in waves. Whether the wave is like this, where it's up, down, and it's kind of sideways right here, or whether it's like up, down a little, up, big, down a little, up, big, down a little. The odds are you're always going to get that drawback. It's just a matter of when. So the whole point of the strategy that I have is, if you can hit these ads, right? That's why if we would have got the 70 on this move and we hit it with 100 shares instead of 50 again, you're basically doubling your average from there to bring your average up even higher, expecting to get that pullback, so that you don't need it to come down as far, getting that bigger ad up top. So I guess to really answer your question, it depends. Like, it depends. Did it consolidate? Did it pull back and then go higher? Did it consolidate and then go higher? Did it just keep going higher? So my answer to you is, if it would just keep going higher like this, I have no problem adding. If you got in here and the high was 41 and it just went sideways and then went up to 41 and through, you should be looking to cut at high of day. Or maybe there you can kind of risk off 50, like let it make a new high through 50 and then see what it does. Because, a lot of times they use them $0.50 areas as resistance. And as you can see in this case, that's kind of what it did. If it dips back down, like, and hits, say, VWAP and then comes back up, the odds are you should have paid yourself at this point, down towards VWAP, at least half of your position. So if you still have full position coming back up to your entry, then, that's just bad trade management at that point. So at that point, I'd probably just cut it and just be glad that I got out around break even, if that's the case. So, Tom, I was just talking about you. What's up, man? How you doing? Are you at work? You at the factory? I didn't say anything. I was actually talking about why you stopped making videos on YouTube so that you could focus on your trading. So I was actually talking good about you for once. It's probably the only time I've ever talked good about you. JK. Do you pop out? Well, we were talking about how Monkey has been becoming worse, per se, because of YouTube. He's basically trying to impress everybody by trading live and stuff like that. So, and then that's why I had said you kind of came up in the conversation because you have been trying to help him as well with the pre-stream or pre-market stuff. And then I had said that you stopped making your videos because of the tube kind of getting to you. So, yep. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was saying. I was saying it's a good thing. If you're doing YouTube for the wrong reasons, you shouldn't be doing YouTube. That's what we were talking about, actually, because someone had asked about starting a YouTube channel and stuff like that. Do you, Thomas? I'm just trying to read your question, Thomas. Do you pop out all of your boxes even on the main screen? No. Well, the only ones I don't pop out are these. It's the main account screen and the positions, the closed positions. So like if I would have traded multiple stocks, they'd all show up here. So it's like basically my summary for the day. So if I want to pull that up, I just pull up my main screen. But everything else is popped out. So these two are locked in. But then everything else is popped out. Yeah, Tom, you are an attention whore. But there's nothing wrong with that. And hey, the fact that you realized it, props. And yeah, and it is. It's hard. It is hard work to put on a show. Like even these live streams, sometimes when you don't have a topic to talk about, like tonight, this actually went fairly well. Surprised actually at how well it went. And I'm surprised we're already an hour and a half in. But to sit here and just kind of run it, it's not easy. It's not easy to stay entertaining. For all I know, I'm not actually entertaining. The benefit, Thomas, is you get to use more screen. So like if all of this, I can just show you. Let's just open up this one just for instance. So if I were to open up a new chart, if I can find it. So this is this not locked in? Okay. Oops. So look at, I can only put it right here. So look at all the space up here that I'm losing. So if I wanted that there, and then say I would need my montage. So say I wanted to put that here or whatever. You're just losing a lot of real estate. Even down here at the bottom and stuff like that. Now you could put you can make new tabs. So you can add a new tab and you can put multiple stuff in there. So you could do it that way. So people that only have one monitor, you can do that. I actually almost made a video about that. How do you run multiple charts? You can have chart 1, chart 2, chart 3, chart 4. If you only have one screen, it's actually a really good idea to do it that way versus just popping everything out onto one screen. But yeah, see how now I can use my full screen to get maximum value out of everything. And if you don't click no title bar, you actually lose some real estate as well. So really it's all about just getting max real estate because see how the chart kind of gets a little bit smaller there. So that's all it is. He's still around. Vincenzo, you just got to find him. Did that answer your question, Thomas? Hopefully. And yeah, Tom, he's too busy playing Rocket League and what's that other game you play? Not League of Legends, the other one. I forget the name of it. Go back to the Rainbow Six Siege. That's it. I always see you load that up and I'm just like, pfft. But you're still young though, aren't? What are you, like 24 or something like that? No kids. 26, yeah. Yeah, you still got it going on. You the man. You got time for that. I ain't got time for that. That's why I play Rocket League. I'm in and out 10 minutes. That's what she said. Coming up on my second year trading. Hells yeah. I was just telling them, I'll show you real quick since you're here. My very first day was August 21st last year. So I am a year and 2 days. But technically I went on paper. Yeah, just for a month. I obviously missed a few days here and there, like when I switched from SureTrader to Interactive Brokers back to SureTrader. And then from SureTrader to CMEG, I missed, I think, I don't know, it was like, actually it was a whole month now that I think about it. Let me see, February, March. It was somewhere in here. February, March, April. Maybe I just did do it all at once. Maybe I switched, and then when I came back, because I know it was just June that I missed. But I thought I was already with CMEG then. I don't remember. But I'm sure it wasn't like a full year of trading, because I know I did. I mean, I guess it's still trading even though it was on paper, but yeah. Yeah, Vincenzo, man, he's got dual personalities. Depends on what kind of mood he's in. He switches back and forth. Beat me to it. What did I beat you? Rocket League? Other than those fat red days, that's a beauty grind. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that was kind of what we were talking about earlier. This is back when I had absolutely no clue what I was doing. I was just getting either unlucky or lucky. And I was even saying that on this first day, I was actually lucky that I only lost what I did. I was lucky that I didn't blow my account. And then this was just a lot of luck. There was a bunch of trades in here that were just luck. And then this is when I tried to swing trade, and I lost a good amount there trying to swing trade. Went back to day trading, and then this was the OCX trade, the big fat $1,300 loser. And then this is when I found ISW. I started learning the strategy, was doing really good. I started getting real confident as I went through my 0 point again. And then I had never really lost with the new strategy. And so I didn't really know how to lose. And that's when MTSI said, okay, I'll teach you, as Thomas would say. I'll teach you how to lose. And yeah, that one got me pretty good. It was $1,000. And then I was so low on my equity at this point because I started with $5,000. And just to show you guys, like commissions and fees and all that stuff, they add up. So even here, I was only down $693 like overall. But on a $5,000 account, I only had like $1,000 left in my account, like from all the commissions and stuff like that. Like I can show you guys total commissions throughout my entire trading career. I've paid $2,332.45, and that's just in the commissions for the tickets. That's not including like the ECN fees. It's not including all those other stupid little fees. It's not including the broker fees for the software. It's not including any of that. So all of that adds up to the point where I was down $694 from trading, including the commissions from trading. Or this is not including the commissions from trading, but I only had $1,000 left. From $5,000. So I was, that's like $3,300 in commissions and fees at that point. So it just goes to show you. So our account was so low that we weren't able to trade how you're supposed to trade the strategy. I was being forced to trade like lower price stocks. There isn't that many lower price stocks that aren't lower floats. So it was just, I had to take a month off, and that's why I took that month. As you can see, June is missing in here. It goes right from May to July. And as you can see, since then, we took that month to paper trade, and we learned how to lose. Or, we didn't really lose that much during that month, actually. We had a really good green month on paper. We didn't overtrade. That's all documented. We tried to take it as serious as possible. A lot of people, when they go on paper, they don't necessarily trade like they should. But we tried to stay completely focused because we wanted to find the holes in our game. We wanted to find why this trade happened. So pretty much that whole month, we were studying just nonstop. How do we not let this happen again? And so far, I've had quite a few trades that the charts look exactly like this MTSI trade, but guess what? You don't see any big old dips like that, do you? So hopefully we figured something out. And this time when we get through, next week, I'm really hoping that we can get over that $0 mark and hopefully not ever get below it again. That would be the goal. That is the goal. So yeah, nice little tangent there. I like talking about that. Let's see. What did you... If you look at what I sent you on Discord, a very similar spot I was in last year. That picture was very typical of my performance every month. Do you want me to pull it up over here on stream? Yeah, so it was like the same thing. You just kind of had... This is what Tom sent me. So this was his, I'm assuming, what is it? This is either like Edgewonk or TraderView, I want to say. So yeah, if you look at his curve, he'd have like some nice big wins, and then bam, like look at the big losses. So again, I mean, obviously your wins were bigger than your losses, which is good. But like you said, it's like if we can figure out how to keep these losses smaller, yeah, look at that. Ouch. Because that's the thing. It's like we can have these like smaller wins, but it's like we got to figure out how to make these reds just as small. So it's like you can be a profit. Like if you're a 70-30 trader, I mean, this is break even, right? Because if you're only winning 70% of the time, but your losers are pretty much wiping out, if your 30% losers are wiping out your 70% gains, that's not good. And that's how I was. It was like I'm at 90%. Like since I started this strategy, like this is overall. I'm actually up to almost 70. I'm at 77% overall now. But if you look at, actually, let's do it backwards. Let's look at what I was before I started the strategy. So I've never done that before. It was February 08. Before I started trading the new strategy, this is what I was a 58-41 or 58-42 trader. Like I was only winning 58% of the time. I mean, that's not good, right? So I knew that I needed to change something. Like I obviously wasn't doing something right. And then now if we go the other way, like it's pretty impressive, the jump. And then just put in 12, go past it. But now if you look at it, I'm a 91.9 trader, right? Over actually a bigger sample size too. But the problem was that 9%, those losses were wiping out, my one loss that I'd have out of 10 trades was wiping out my 9 wins, and more. And that's just unacceptable. So again, there are losses in here, but as you can see, they're a lot smaller. $76. That's a lot better than $760. $44. 92, 91. As you can see, my max loss is around 100. This KPTI trade is crap. This should have been like a pretty good green trade, but my broker kind of screwed me. That was the July 3rd. Everything closed early and all that crap. But yeah. And here's the MTSI trade. And then this was me learning after that. And as you can see, I took another loss on TCS. This was I remember that stupid thing. I was trying to play the reverse and it just literally never bounced ever. That was annoying. But yeah, as you can see, since the MTSI trade, the losses are much smaller. And we're testing out this best winning streak, I think. I'm going to jinx myself, but let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we're getting there. We're in the 20s. And a lot of these are, some of these, like when this week I was just so out of it, but we had a lot of stocks that would like go against us, and we would kind of just be happy to get out of them, break even. So that's kind of where that went. Did you make any headway on taxes, market to market, LLC, S corp? Yes, kind of. I figured out that I'm not going to be worried about like forming an entity or anything like that. But I am going to look to claim trader tax status, TTS, which is basically mark to market. They're essentially the same thing, for next year. So yeah, this year, it's really not going to matter for me this year anyway, just because I'm basically going to be fairly break even. And you're not allowed to claim, what was it? Is it $3,000? I think is the amount, in losses. So I'm not even going to have that anyway, hopefully. But yeah, so it's really not going to affect me this year. The only thing it's going to do is it's not going to let me like write off, all the stuff that I use daily, like my internet, my computer, my monitors. Like I can't write any of that stuff off, but possibly for next year, like if I buy new stuff for next year for trading, I can do that and all that good stuff. Right. You can carry it forward, but the whole point, if you're day trading, you really shouldn't be focused on losing $3,000. Worried about that $3,000 loss a year. You should be focused on how much you're going to get taxed for making money. And that's the other thing. I believe by having the trader tax status, it allows you to claim everything as, what are the two different forms of income? There's ordinary income. Let's see, ordinary income versus, is it capital gains? So with TTS, you would be considered it's considered capital gains instead of ordinary income. And then I have to get back into, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to think of all this stuff while I'm tired, especially why it's not fresh in my head. But if you would have asked me this 2 weeks ago when I was really going through everything, I could have answered you pretty informatively, but I don't want to give out any false information, and say the wrong things, because that can be some sensitive stuff to get wrong. But yeah, that's the route I'm going to be looking to go, is I'm just going to file this year, just normally. It's probably not going to matter too much, as I'm not really going to be making anything. That's the other thing. Like you can write off, your if you're trading with ISW, like you can write the scanners off. You can write off the $150 that CMEG charges you for the software fee every month. You can write all that off, under the trader tax status. Whereas without it, I don't think you have the ability to write that off unless you're under an entity, and you can't just form an entity at the time of filing taxes and then backtrack everything for that year. You would have to file the entity, and then everything forward from that day that you filed the entity or became the entity, is when that would all start counting. So yeah, it's interesting how it all works, and that's why they make it so complicated, so that you have to pay professionals to take care of it for you. So I always like to know what's going on regardless, instead of just paying somebody to do it. It's like I'm still going to pay them to do it, but I would like to know how it all works, because I don't really ever trust somebody 101%. I can trust you 100%, but it takes a lot for me to trust you 101%. There's only a couple of people in my life that I trust that much. Pretty much just my mother and probably my 2 kids, or at least I hope that they trust me that much. I definitely don't trust my dad 101%. All right, let's catch you back up. Volume goes up, percentage win goes massively down. Very good info in TraderView. Yeah, do you pay for TraderView, Tom? I was trying out the free version. I actually tried out they had like I think it was a week for free or something like that. I don't know. I just didn't really like it as much. It's kind of yeah. Thomas, I trust you 99.9%. I don't want to give you the 100% just because I haven't shook your hand yet. But I'm going to give you the 99.9%. Trust the tax preparer at Walmart. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to do. Just could go to Walmart. Hey, I'm a trader. Here, figure this out. I'm definitely getting audited. Thought I'd check in before bedtime to tuck me in. Thanks, son. You have a good night's sleep up there in Canada. You damn Canadians. There's a guy that just joined ISW recently. He's from Canada. He was talking about switching brokers. He's with Trade Zero. And I actually told him, I was like, go to IB. They accept Canadians, and you don't have the frickin' PDT rule. Lucky. Yes, we will Rocket League soon. Obviously not tonight since you're going to bed, and I am going to bed when this stream is over. So yeah, no Rocket League tonight. Oh, plus I'm trying to save my wins for the new Rocket Pass. It starts on the 28th. A little geeky of me. But yeah, I actually finally finished the other Rocket Pass. I have every item. Yeah, IB, that's why I actually switched. When I went to IB, that was why I switched, because I was trading smaller size. And their commissions there are just amazing. It's like nothing for the software, and it was like something stupid for shares. It was like 0.003 or 0.004 per share or something like that. Ow. Yeah, center point is like if I can, if my plan, if everything goes according to plan, and there goes the Roomba, 11:15. If everything goes according to plan, and I want to say hopefully this time next year we're at our goal of $25,000. The goal to switch is actually $30,000 because I actually plan to keep money on CMEG because CMEG's pretty awesome, and it never hurts to have an account with multiple brokers. You never know when your broker might not have shorts and the other one might, so it can never hurt to have multiple brokers if you can. So the goal would be to get the 30,000 so we can have a non-PDT US account and then also still use CMEG. And yeah, but yeah, Centerpoint and IB are definitely my two front runners if I were to switch right now, but obviously that's not going to be the case. So yeah, they're definitely, to me, two of the top ones at the current moment. So now there's 14 of you in here. All right, I better get some questions. Give me some questions. Who's all in here? Who's sitting here just lurking in the background? Say hi. Ask a question. Tell me who you are, and I'll ask you some questions. How about that? I always tell everyone that these streams are not for me to just teach you. It's a community gathering for us all to teach each other. So I'm I'm probably more new to trading than most of the people on YouTube, yeah? Mr. K, kinda, yes. I mean, let's, I'll show you why I don't really long stocks. Let me see. No, that was just a grinder. Yeah, let me show you guys a really good example, by the way, on MU here of why you cut stocks after they dip down and go higher versus, or like consolidate. Where's a little zoomy? I'm sure there's a much quicker way to do that, but I don't really do this that often, so I don't know. But so I got short here, pretty much top ticked it. came down, took half my position, and it started climbing back up. I was like, all right, I'm going to reduce just in case it does want to go high a day. Went high a day, and I cut it. That's the strategy. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, say I would have got in right here, and it kind of came down to, say, the top of this candle, and it just consolidated and then went higher. Even though I ended up, this was a green trade because of how I played it, but even if I didn't have any covers here and it just consolidated and then went higher, I would still cut. It would be a loser, but it would be a small loser because look at what happened. So this is why you play the strategy this way. And then it made a nice big move, so I was like, hey, I want to get back in this thing. That was a nice big move. I got out like I was supposed to instead of fighting it. The old me, the old MTSI me would have I probably would have taken this half position here, but I never would have took either of these trades, and I would have let it go, and I would have been looking to add based off of my original position. So, and then now I'm fighting this thing for the rest of the day. Because if this thing just goes sideways or grinds up just a little bit higher and higher each time, I don't make money on this. I end up losing a lot of money. But the new me, finding the holes in my game, look at what I did. I ended up cutting this as it went high a day, made a big move. I got back in. This looks like a standard play, just like TNDM today. Got in, added as it went up towards a whole dollar. And it came down. We made some money. So, this is how it should be done. But back to answering your question. Sorry, got a little sidetracked. I just remembered that was a good trade to show you how the strategy should be played. And that's how you try to manage your risk on the trades. So I think, of course, I don't have the chart. I don't think that was one of them. No, yeah, that was a short. So VLRX. So every time I try to buy these freaking dips, it's basically the same thing, same strategy, just backwards, right? So instead of this thing going up and I'm shorting into the big pop, I'm basically buying the dip, like buy the dip, sell the rip kind of thing. The problem is every time I seem to buy these stupid dips, they don't ever rip. I even got this bottom tick, and as it came back up, I think this was a legit order, and then I think I meant to cover or sell more here, but I accidentally sold everything. So I ended up closing the trade for a loss here, which ended up, oh no, I didn't. I sold some, and then I ended up getting out the rest. And this is exactly how it would look in reverse too. Add, get the last add in here, try to get out some of your position, and you try to basically let it go higher. If it breaks that low a day, then you go. And I remember the reason I didn't wait till low a day is because as you could see, the support was kind of forming here. So I knew if it broke that, it was most likely going to do this. So that's how I got out a little bit earlier. And obviously I was right there. But this is how it should look going both ways. So this was a losing trade, and it was managed well. But this is the thing I hate about longs. It's like every time I see somebody else take these longs, even with a bad first entry like this thing will come back up the VWAP and go through VWAP, back up to $5, and I'm like, oh, God, I need to start trading these. But no, not for me. ARRY, that was a short. That was one I kind of fought. I know there's another one close by here. Yeah, TCS was the other one. Literally both of these are the reason I don't trade these anymore. And this was the mistake one. Got in again, added, and then got my final add in. And when it popped up right here, I accidentally sold everything. It was an accident. But thankfully, that was pretty much as high as it got anyway. So in a way, it kind of saved me money. But I meant to sell half my position here just to reduce my risk, and sure enough, it ended up coming down and breaking that low a day anyway, so I would have been selling the rest down here. So essentially, it saved me money making that mistake. But as you can see, I'm not getting in the ones where they bottom out and then come back up, and I don't know, it was just frustrating because the idea behind these moves is that you buy the dip and then you get them bounces back up. It's just like every time I decide to try one of these, they don't seem to do like they're supposed to. So I mean, it's not that I'm against going long. I just have a lot more success, as you can see, just waiting for my edge and shorting. So, yeah. I was really hoping throughout all that we would get another question from you awesome viewers out there. We are going to do a hard cut at midnight if we get there. So we've got 35 minutes until then. But let's get some more questions in here. What can we talk about? It doesn't have to be stock related. It is a free-for-all tonight. I use volume profile to find the support and resistance is really helpful. I actually did that for a while on here as well as on the daily is where I really used it. It's actually a pretty useful tool. I don't know. The thing with my strategy, the intensity strategy, is you don't really need much. You trade the chart. You don't need all these EMAs and volume profiles, the indicators. All you need is candles and intense moves. That's all you need. You need them candles to make intense moves. That's really all you need. But I actually found the volume profile to be a lot more beneficial down on the daily, because it kind of shows you, like, if you're coming up to a key point that could really give you some resistance. Or, I mean, like if you're going long, something that could be used as support. So, like, look at on the SPY, there's a lot of people underwater right now. The most volume is up here at that 295, like 294, 295 area. And we're all the way down at 279, or where are we at? 284. So there's a lot of people underwater right now. There's a lot of people right now that are like at their average and are like, yo, I thought we were going over 300. So, yep. Keep it simple. Silly, stupid, bunch of different S words you can put in there. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you that volume profile is not good. Michael Katz from 7 Points Capital. I see it on his charts all the time, and he's actually the one that turned me onto it in the first place. And I agree. It's actually a really good thing to have on your charts if you're looking for those key support and resistance areas. And I do eventually think once we get up to that point where I can get away from just my one strategy that I'm playing day in and day out, because that's the thing. If there's one thing I can tell anybody, if there's one thing I wish somebody would have hammered into my head when I first started, was find one strategy and just master it. Like, when I was growing up, I loved pitching. I just loved it. But I was so worried about when I wasn't pitching, I wanted to play third base. I wanted to play center field. I needed to hit. How do I hit home runs? All these other things where it's like I just enjoyed pitching so much. If I would have just focused on that one thing, who knows how far I could have went with it. Same applies for trading in the market. Find that one strategy, just one strategy that you can just absolutely master it, right? Know the what ifs, the ins and the outs, know, the buts, just know that if any stock, when you're in the trade, if it does something, you know exactly how to react. That's how you know that you've mastered that strategy. And obviously it has to be profitable. Obviously, it has to work over a long period of time. And that's the thing. I think I have a strategy here that isn't going anywhere, right? You're going to see big, intense moves in the market all the time. You're going to see emotional people trading in these retail stocks all the time. Like, it's not going anywhere. So that's why I really like this strategy. It's kind of against the grain. But guess what? 90% of traders fail. So why would I want to do what those 90% of people are doing? And those 90% of people are trading EMAs. They're, I wouldn't say they're trading support or resistance, because I think the ones that are trading support or resistance, like, they have a good idea what's going on. But the people that are buying breakouts, there's a famous YouTuber that buys breakouts, but he's good at it, but he's got a little bit of a cheating edge. So there's a lot of different ways to make money in the market, but you have to find that one that really benefits you the most, and just keep it simple. I don't trade the SPY. I'm assuming you trade it using options. But yeah, it's too pricey for me. I actually almost traded VIXY today when the SPY went nuts, when it was just dropping like a brick, because this thing absolutely took off. I actually, Brian in the room, he got in, so did GDT on TVIX. And so I pulled up TVIX and I was like, oh, what's going on? Because I had saw the SPY up on my scanner, on this scanner here. I just saw it was just dropping. And I'm like, what's going on? And I was like, obviously Trump tweeted or something. But so I pulled up TVIX and I saw this move happening. And I was like, man, if I could play this, I would get in right here. Where on I can just show you. On TVIX, it was right here. So I was like, oh man, I would be in right here. Would look to add if it went through 18. I mean, it was a huge intense move on a lot of volume. And sure enough, we got a real nice pullback. Look at that. It was like 80 cents. And sure enough, it kept going. I was like, man, I'd probably be getting right back in here, right for the 19 reject. And if it went through 19, I'd look to get in because this was a nice intense move on volume. And sure enough, look at that. That was almost 80 cents again. And but the whole time I'm sitting here watching, I'm like, I have no shares. And then I see it on the scanners, the SQQQ, the VIX, the UVXY, like they were all going nuts because they're all the inverts of the SPY. And I was like, I totally didn't think about it, like, because I don't trade these, right? And then so I was just scrolling through them and I saw the VIXY. I was like, oh, it's in my price range. It's exactly this. It's the same as the TVIX. Like they're all reacting the same. And I was like, dang it. So I could have had a second play today, but now I know for the future that if the SPY's dropping and people are trading the TVIX, that I can just look to trade VIXY. Is the reason that a lot of people, like the bigger traders, trade TVIX is because look at the volume difference. You're getting the same moves, but the liquidity there is just you're in and out whenever you want to be. You don't have to worry about liquidity. Where with VIXY, look at the volume. It's like 1/10 of the volume. Actually less than 1/10. So when do we come out with the merch? Do you guys want some merch? I actually put a t-shirt out there at some point. I have to find it. Did I save it under here? Thought I saved it. Is it T Spring? Did I make it a listing? Oh yeah, there it is. I don't know if I actually. Oh, I did. I thought I had. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I got two colors. Those are the only colors where my logo kind of looked good. I tried making a hat, but it didn't work with this logo in particular. So I have to figure something else out for a hat because that's what I would get. Obviously I wear a hat pretty much every day, but I am probably gonna get one of these. And this is just something I looked into. This was weeks ago, but it is here. That's funny. 2397. That's my wife and I's number. There you go. You want some t-shirts? Boom. There you go. Order them up. Let's see. I do plan on making a hat though. I was hoping Brian would make the ISW hats too, but he seems to be leaving those alone. Just day trade lift since it has lots of volume. It moves $2 to $3 a day. I would, but I don't have any shorts. But yeah, I see this thing moving pretty much every day. Yeah, look at this scoop play. It actually bounced. So annoying. I can look at them all day. They happen all the time. These big dumps into scoops. Here, let me pull up, because I'm going to be obviously making the video for Intensity Stockwatch most likely tomorrow. Let's see what the top alerts. Shirt with the victory dance move. It's like hotcakes. I'll say he didn't put it on here. Crapper. I guess I can just look it up myself. Where is that window? Tools, today's top alerts. Excuse me. All right, so of course it's just FFHL. That thing was just stupid. So this is a low floater, obviously. But yeah, I mean, look at some of the dips on this one. Actually, pretty much all the dips on this one didn't bounce. I mean, this one came back up eventually, but none of these were like the intense move that you're really looking for, though, right? Like, you don't see any like huge bars that really stand out, right? So this is not something I probably would have been looking to trade, to be honest. What is the other one on here? TMSR. What is that one? I didn't even see this one today. So, and this is what I'm saying. Like, the range on this one isn't that great, but look at the bars on this one and then look at the move you get. Like, that's a big move in comparison to the range of the stock. So that's something that's what you're looking for. OPTT, that was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, made that move in the after hours. And then today, it kind of just died off. So yeah, I guess FFHL, that really was all that moved today. I was going to look for like moves. I guess let me see. From yesterday. Real quick. It was neat. Like some of these low floaters, they just steal all the top alerts because they move so much. So like, let's scroll in from. So this was neat yesterday. So big intense move up. Here, it did make a decent little move back down. So it went over 5, came all the way back down to 480. And then the big move down here went straight through VWAP. I think it got halted here, didn't it? Let's see, 1216. Yeah. Halted here, consolidated, tried to go back up, and then got shut down. Big move up, came across, got shut down. Then again, so I mean, this is what you're looking for all day. You're looking for these intense moves, but as you can see, the longs take longer. And in this case, this one actually held support, eventually went higher because it held support. And then this big intense move up, little false break here on the consolidation, and then got shoved down, big intense move down, and then longs take longer, and then boom, she ended up going up higher. So pretty much every time you see these intense moves, the idea is that you're going to get some kind of a rebound the other way, especially when you get the extensions from VWAP. So like a big intense move like this, I'm more inclined not to play it because you're right at VWAP. Like the whole point of my strategy with the overextension is the overextension away from VWAP, the overextension away from, say, low of day or the low of a key support level. So if it goes through like a key support level like this one on a big move down like this, I'd be looking to scoop that up and get back at least to retest that support level and see if it wants to use it as resistance or go through. But at that point, I'm most likely probably exiting my position at that level because that's what I do. I'm not here trying to just sit here all day looking for a bigger move. I might, eventually in the future when I'm trading more shares, look to keep, when my leftovers are 100 shares instead of 25 shares, it might be worth it to, at this key level, look to just keep 100 shares and see what it does because, that can add up. But yeah, 25 shares, it's tough. It's tough to really kind of let it sit, especially when the odds are against it at that point. You're really kind of looking for not a home run, but you're looking for extra, versus with the commissions on 25 shares, it just almost makes it not worth it. Because even if you do get a little bit more, most of the times the commissions are going to eat that up anyway, just for exiting the 25 shares. So yeah, like Dell at 8:40 this morning. What's up, Thomas's son? I typed in 8:40. That's funny. I don't know your name, Bearded Trader. If you care to share that, I may call you that instead of you trying to be the Bearded Trader. Although if your beard looks like that picture, you got a much better beard than I do. Let's see, Dell at 8 o'clock this morning. That's yesterday. Zoom in a little bit. Is this at 8 o'clock? 8:40? So I'm assuming you mean this, but you're an hour behind me. So, okay. Corey. Welcome, Corey. Good to know your name. I am Tim. This is like 8. It's almost like 8 years of work, because I don't grow facial hair that well, believe it or not. So all of like the sides, like all of this, that took like 3 to 4 years to fill in. Especially like the top part in here, I couldn't get that to grow at all. And to be completely honest, I started using beard shampoo, and that really helped, because I used to use regular shampoo. And then like when I really started actually getting a beard, I started like looking into how to take care of it. And so now I learned that if you use like your normal hair shampoo on it, it's got these oils in it that actually hurt this type of hair, because obviously it's not like your normal hair. So if you do want a nice beard, I really recommend beard shampoo, because the beard shampoo is basically organic, I guess, shampoo that doesn't have those extra oils or chemicals or whatever that's in normal shampoo that basically prevents your hair from growing, essentially. An intensity scanner, can you describe a little bit in the i3 tracker menu? What do you want to know? Got it right here. Do you mean like in the menu in here? This is all default, by the way, but I don't know if I make this bigger. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think it'll make that bigger. Yeah, ask away, man. I'm always down to answer questions about the scanners. I love these ISW scanners. I honestly don't. I mean, I would probably still be attempting to figure out how to trade support resistance, and I'm sure I'd be better at it. I'd probably be like 60-65% win percentage at this point, but I feel like I would just be lost. I'd be lost. Like I was getting at earlier, the 90% of traders are doing what the 90% of traders do. So if that's obviously not working, what are the 10% doing? Well, I'm telling you right now, it's what I'm doing. It's what ISW is doing. And it sounds cliche because, I'm with ISW and I'm affiliated with them, but I'm affiliated with them because I believe in them. If you guys watch my channel, you know that I'm the blunt truth guy. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'll tell you that trade ideas, the difference between trade ideas and ISW is that trade ideas will alert you everything. So if something is just barely moving, it's going to tell you, hey, this thing's getting more volume and price action than normal. Here it is. And it like pops up like 4 times. And then like all these other stocks are popping. And they're like in that list. And you're like, what's going on? And like, and you're like sitting here pulling up chart after chart after chart after chart. And you're like, wait a minute, this isn't doing anything. Or it like just barely made a move or something like that. So it's like you're constantly pulling up charts that aren't doing it. Well, the whole point of ISW is when it finally gives you that alert, when it gets to that key level, you know exactly what it's doing. It's making its move, and that's the whole point. It's telling you, hey, it's making the move. It's time to reverse. Here you go. So, yeah. So what do you want to know on this, Paul? Now that I have it up. You want me, I mean, I can try to start explaining. Can you describe a little bit in the i3 tracker menu? I mean, this is pretty much what all the menus look like. But essentially you can change how often in seconds like when it does, if you have the sound on this, so anytime one of these hit the max i3 of whatever you have it set to, you can have it set to 15, 20, 25, or 30. The lower is basically you would want to be able to get the alert quicker so that you can pull the chart up a little bit earlier than most. 20 is kind of the sweet spot. But if you absolutely want to this is what I did when I first started. If you absolutely only want the charts that are just going absolutely nuts, you can use 30. Excuse me. But the default's 20. And then so every time that hits, every 10 seconds while it's still in above 20, it'll go off. Or if you want it 15, 30, whatever you want it to be. And then here you just pick a sound that you want to hear. Why is it not playing? Oh God, it's so loud. If you want people to scream at you, why is this not playing? Let me try one of these just to see. So people scream at you. A weird bugger sound. It's all kinds of different sounds. Yeah, so you pick a sound. You can set the minimum volume on any given stock that you would want to be in here. Now keep in mind, the tracker menu, all that is it's taking all of the scans or all the stocks that were found on the plus i3 scan, and when it's basically done its move, it then transfers over to here so that you can track it. So if you want to go back to the more recent moves, just to pull up the charts, to see if, you want to play some kind of continuation play or, whatever. That's kind of the point of the tracker, is it's basically like a list of the moves that already happened, basically to show you the movers on the day. But just to, keep rolling through this real quick. If you want to set a minimum volume on the stocks that you see on here, obviously you have options there. Same with the min i3. I was doing this for a little while, just so on my scans I only saw the ones that were potential plays, so I wasn't just sitting there scrolling through like the ones that Trade Ideas would be sending off on your scanners. So you can do that, or you can just leave it at 0 and then just everything will show. But just keep in mind, anything that's down like under like 7 or 8, especially on stocks that are under like $30, the odds are they're either just starting their move, they already made their move, they're just kind of, they're making a move, but it's not an intense move. You really want those big numbers for the nice intense moves. But those are there. Like if you want to scroll through charts, you can. So they're there. And then you can set your min price. If you like trading penny stocks, you can set it real low. And if you don't, you can put a min in there. Like I have 2 different scans for my i3s, plus and minus. One's from $2 to $20, $2 to $20, and then the other one's $20 to $80. And the reason I do that is because, like I said, the higher the price, it takes a lot more to change the overall percentage of the stock as it's moving up. So you have to account for that in the intensity number, because that factors into the equation. So say a $20 stock, you can get 30 on the intensity if it's making a big move. Now if you take a $80 stock and it's showing 10 on the intensity, that's kind of equivalent because just of the price versus the percentage change on the stock. So if you ever get an $80 stock that's at 30, you should probably pull it up. That's something like Tilray. It's probably a low float stock if it's making some crazy move like that. So, okay, hopefully that answered your question. If not, feel free to ask some follow-ups, and I'll answer them for you. Anybody else? Got 11 people in here. Give me some questions. I got what I want, thanks. No problem, man. That's why we're here, right? That is why we are here. Yeah, I don't think we ever talked about this Dell move. Some volume there compared to the rest of the day. Yeah, you had a big dip, and then, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Buying the scoop, or buying the dip, and then look at it. Thing not only shot back up the VWAP, but it like went all the way back up to where it was. Tisk. I actually think I remember seeing this on the scanner. It must have been on this move. Would have been a pretty nice move, too. Right up to 48. Use it as resistance. Even had all day yesterday. Let's take a look at some of the bear scan watch lists from today. Neat was up top. Let's see where it kind of gapped up a little bit and then fell over. So yeah, that was a nice one. All the way from, when did it open? It did a little pop and drop at the open and then kind of died off. So that was a good one off the bear scan. Lower float though. Yeah, it was on the scanner. Yeah, I definitely missed that one. I wonder if that's when it must have been when I was in TNDM. It would make sense. It was right around that time, 940. Yeah, if it was at 940, look, my first entry was 939, so I just probably missed it because I was in TNDM. I think Kirk, K-I-R-K. Yeah, look at that one. That was nice. This was right off the bear scan, looking for a hangover. Big move up at the end of the day, kind of gap down. And then she got a pop right at the belt, looks like, 930. Yep, right at 930, and then look at that. Obviously, the range isn't that great, but, you know, we're looking at the candles in comparison. So for the range of this stock, that was actually a really good drop. BJ. Who doesn't like a BJ? BJ's... Is it wholesale clubhouse or is it just clubhouse? I don't know. Do you discuss risk to reward when you make your last add-on? What do you mean by that? Yeah, Thomas, you tell him. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Kirk was SSR, you're right. I don't even think you could short it, or I could short it, but I don't short SSR stocks, but yeah, good catch. But, you know, a lot of people they always tell me I'm stupid for not trading SSR stocks, you know, if the opportunity is there. But guess what? I don't like it. I always look at it this way. You're looking for an edge, right? Well, if your edge is to short and a stock's on SSR, which is short sale restriction, you're basically allowing the market. It's almost like you're getting ready to start a basketball game and you're playing to 10 and you're basically giving them like 2 or 3 points to start the game. You're a handicap. You're giving them a handicap, no matter what the sport is. But yeah, it's like why would I short a stock where I have a handicap against me? It just doesn't make any sense, at least to me. SetX was another one. This was number 3 on the bear scan. Let's see. So yeah, this made the big move yesterday. Kind of started dying off in pre-market, and then boom! Look at that thing. That was nice. Man, all these right off the bear scan watch list, guys. This is exactly what they're meant to do. It finds the trades for you. BJ was the next one. I skipped SetX. I didn't see it there. So BJ made the big move yesterday. Kind of dumped off at the bell, and then she decided to pop, and then she dove off for the rest of the day. So took a little bit longer, but still worked. We'll do one more. We'll do 2 more because this next one is a low float FSLY. This one actually ran. So, okay. So this one wouldn't have worked. This one made a big move yesterday. Decided to be a multi-day runner, but it didn't. This one was on the scanner today. I remember this thing. Yeah, because it made that big intense move up here. It actually made a nice move here too. Oh, okay. I can't short it. I was gonna say, why was I not looking at this? I can't short it. It's a lower float too, so I wouldn't have played it anyway. So 11 million in the float. So we'll do one more. Let's see, PGNX. Could have shorted this one, and look at that beauty. Nice run up yesterday. No action in the after hours or pre-market, and then right at the open, it said, see ya. So again, I mean, look at that. It gave pretty much half of its day back right at the open. It's exactly what the Bearskin's meant to do. It's to find these types of plays. Every day they're there. I'm just not a fan of them. Yeah, I don't know why. It's so hard for me to just get in pre-market like right when it's here because I'm so used to looking for moves that are extended away. But then it just happens every day where it's like if I would have just shorted there, look at what it did. And yeah, it happens all the time. So I was hoping you expanded there, Mr. Wired Day Trader. I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. Do you discuss risk or reward when you make your last add-on? Like, what do you mean do I discuss it? Yeah, hindsight's 20/20, but I mean, when you look at the Bearskin watch list, if you go through at the end of the day, or even at like 10:30 every day, just to see what they did, because the whole point is to get that hangover. And the hangover, you're just looking for that big down move right at the bell. They're always there. It's just it's a play that I find could, if it doesn't work, it's kind of hard to risk off, I guess. But I know Brian plays them a lot, and what he does is if it does pop at the bell, he'll look to add into it, and then look to just kind of either get out or look for it to actually still make the move down. So it's like I get it, like you're kind of using the entry point as the extension, like because I mean if you look at it, it is pretty extended here. So VWAP obviously caught up to it because it's intraday VWAP. But if you had like I have, it's going to make me bring it up. So, especially now that I lost connection to this anyway because of the time. But let me show you guys something real quick. This is something that I got off of Zach Hurwitz. He's a VWAP trader. Like that's what he considers himself. But he came up with this thing on Thinkorswim where it shows you the average VWAP based on, now what stock was that? PGNX. Based on the time frame that you're on. So in this case, it's actually really bad. Or wait, am I on the daily? Yeah, let's go to the 5-day 2-minute. So yeah, look at this. So here's the intraday VWAP, which starts over every single day, right? But I'm on a 5-day 2-minute chart. So it's using 5 days and it's averaging the VWAP over 5 days. So why is it? Okay, there we go. So as you can see, this average VWAP, look how far extended to the upside this thing is. So the odds are when you scroll in that, it's not only extended away from the intraday VWAP here the day before, but look how far extended it is away from the A VWAP is what he calls it. So the odds of something like this happening are really good. So just out of curiosity, let's see what neat was. So it made its big move up, and I mean, it wasn't super extended, but it was extended. And then at the bell, I mean, that stock kind of just died. Let's see what Kirk did. So yeah, Kirk did the same thing. Look how far extended it got, not only from its intraday VWAP, but the overall VWAP. This is something I wish I could have in DOS, but obviously it's not a thing. Let's see BJ. Yeah, look at BJ. Same difference. Look how extended it got away from that average VWAP. So it's something that's really cool. And if you follow him on Twitter, he has let me just pull up one of his charts real quick. It's actually really cool. VWAP. The VWAP, there it is. So he posts his charts and they look like this. So as it gets away, like you can really see like the extension. And I mean, he posts these all the time. You can see a pattern in pretty much all of them. And like you can see them to the downside and stuff like that. So he really looks for those like the extended away from VWAP, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just another indicator per se. No, it is not understudies. It's actually a custom study. I could probably get it to you. I'm not going to worry about it tonight, but if you really want if you want that for Thinkorswim, just let me know in Discord or whatever. I'll get it to you. Just wondering, after your 3 positions into a short, what's that risk if stopped out versus your target or usual profit? Well, it's just, I wish I was stuck on TNDM here. Can I get to it? Okay, cool. So it's pretty much the same regardless of how many ads you get. You could get 1 ad, 2 ads, 3 ads, 4 ads, or whatever. The idea is to have a location that you're kind of willing to risk off of. In this case, it was $70. Now, again, that completely gets thrown out the window if this thing is just going straight up. If this thing wants to go straight up and my first entry's here and it wants to keep going pretty much straight up, I'm waiting to get that second ad until when I feel like it's done going straight up, right? So if that's at 70, if that's at 71, so be it. But the odds are you're probably going to get an ad somewhere around 70 because you're going to get some people selling into that whole dollar. Usually the $half whole dollars, you're going to get some kind of resistance. So usually you're going to get an ad in there looking for it to stop. And then if it wants to keep going, you're going to most likely get another ad. But essentially what I'm doing is if I get to a point where it finds a top, so basically I'm trying to hit the top each time. So it found the top here, and as you can see, it found the top right here. So 69.73. Now, if it would have came down to, I don't know, let's say 69, what's the bottom of this candle? 69.20. And my average was at 69.23. So it would have been probably like right around there. I don't think I ever even actually got the chance because I think the spread was like, I think the ask was at 69.40 something. So I never really got down to my average until it really kind of made this flush. But what I'm getting at is if it would have only went down to say 69.30 and then consolidated and then went high of day, like say over here, like or let's say like 5 minutes later, I'd be cutting that. That's a cut and you take the loss. So I'm trying to, it's kind of hard to really judge risk and reward with the strategy because it changes every trade. It's not like, say for instance, you're looking to trade descending, ascending triangles. Well, when you get into, say, an ascending triangle, you know where the support line is, right? So if it breaks that support line, you know that that's where you would be exiting your trade. If you're getting into a descending triangle, you know where high of day is, the resistance line. If it breaks that, you're getting out. So you know your set risk for that trade. Whereas in with this, you don't necessarily know how far the trade is going to go. But that's your job before you enter the trade to take the float into consideration. Look at the previous day's range. Look at the daily for the key resistance points. You want to find what the possible range is on that stock, where it currently is, and that's how you judge the size of the trade. That's how you figure out your risk management on the trade. So it's kind of hard to necessarily talk about the risk versus reward in a sense, but if what you're asking is like if I make that third ad here, am I looking to just break even at that point? Am I looking to just get out of the trade if I can because I had to make the third ad? Again, it kind of depends because if it's a slower mover and that's the case, then yes, because the odds of you getting the big drop off on a slower mover aren't that great. But if this thing is just going straight up, and you're kind of piling in the size a little bit at, like, say every $0.50 in this case, like say it was at 69, 69.50, 70, 70.50. Say I had 4 entries in this thing, but it was all within like 4 minutes. I'm super happy about that. I'm looking for, hopefully, to get down to where my first entry was before I take any shares off. So in this case, that would have been 50, 50, 100, 200. So I'd be in 400 shares. I'd be looking to hopefully take half my shares down towards my first entry, and that would be a big winner because your average at that point is probably up near 70, right? So, or it'd be like, a little under 70. But so if you're getting something down near your first entry on 400 shares, 70 cents, do the math. So that's one big, again, and it goes back to like the poker analogy. It's like, what hand were you dealt? And after you were dealt the hand, aka your entry, what kind of flop did you get? Is it still going straight up? Okay, that's a great flop. Is it still going straight up? I mean, that's a good turn, and and so forth. But if it's starting to, fizzle itself out and start to grind on you or something, then your hand, say you got pocket queens, and it just starts to consolidate and then tries to go high a day. That's like seeing a king ace flop or something like that. Like it's like the worst flop you could see with pocket queens. So your return on capital concerns me. Your risk-adjusted returns with this method. What do you mean? Yeah, I know what you meant. Well, technically, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it really would be nice to have that study, but I don't think you can do custom studies on DOS. I actually have been, I wanted to look into that because that is something that would be really cool to have, but I'm pretty sure it's not possible. And if it was, it would involve coding, and I have no clue how to do that stuff. Are you just saying that like my returns are smaller than what my losses could be? Because I mean, like, I totally get that. But again, that's the whole point of learning how to lose less when you have a strategy that's winning over 90% of the time. So that if I can figure out how to get my wins into that great area, like if I'm starting to scale up and say I'm making $50, $60, $70 a trade instead of $10, $20, $30 a trade, and I'm keeping my losses, at $100, just say the low end of 50 times 8 is $400, and then if I only lose $100, that's $300 over the course of 10 trades. So if you keep scaling that, now if say you just add a 0 to that, now you're making $3,000, and then you can make, again, it's all, that's the cool thing about the market is it's scalable. If my smaller wins were $1,000 instead of $10 in this example, we wouldn't be saying the same thing. But at the same time, my biggest loser of $100 in that same example would be $10,000. So it's all relative to scaling. So it's one of them things where it's all about being consistent. It has nothing to do with I don't really have a better way to put it. It's just all relative. You need to learn how to win bigger, and you need to learn how to lose smaller. It's that simple. So that's the whole point. And again, I'm a year into this. I've only been using this strategy since February, so 6 months. So I am far from saying I'm a master. I watch a guy who is a master at trading this every day, and I aim to be like 1/16 of what he is. And I hope to one day be 1/16 of what he is, because he just is amazing at it. He's been doing it forever, and he has 5 strategies at this point that he just nails over and over every day, and he's amazing. It's it's that simple. Yes, I know your dad's been struggling to make his hotkeys. Yeah, some excellent YouTuber was helping him figure them all out. I think he finally got them. Did that kind of answer you, Vincenzo? I don't know how else to answer that. Hey, look, I got rid of my trade. I feel like that's the only way I can answer it. I get what you're saying is, I have smaller winners and the losers are bigger, but that's kind of how the strategy works. So the whole point, and that's kind of what I was trying to show you a little bit earlier. Like a lot of these $2 winners, $7 winners, $7 winner, $2 winner, $1.50 winner, $7 winner. These are actually the losers. These used to be losers, and they would be like bigger losers, like $70 plus. But that's what I'm saying is I've made the strategy better. I've learned how to trade it better, so I'm not getting out. I'm not losing with them anymore. I've figured out how to turn these, losers into at least break-even trades, because that's what I would consider these are break-even trades. So yeah, it looks green, it is green, but it's not really green. But it's better than red, right? And that's what these used to be. So that's the thing. And a lot of these, this is when I just came back. I forget what I was doing, but I went really small size for some reason. Like I was only taking like 50 and 100 shares on, like $15 stocks. I don't even remember why. I just was. I think it was just the kids the kids and just life in general. This past month has just been pretty horrible. So the fact that I'm even green during all that is, to me, I'll take it. Well, why would you say that the scaling will be difficult? Just out of curiosity. Sorry about the beeping. It'll stop. My Roomba got stuck on something. I say that it'll stop and it'll go on forever. To me, the scaling really shouldn't be difficult as long as you don't scale too early. That was kind of what I did last time. Like if you look at my chart, I started figuring it out, and then I started scaling here, and of course right as I started scaling is when I ran into MTSI. I started it with too much size and it just got out of control, and then I tried to fight it, trying to turn it into a winner, and it didn't work. But I mean, I'm taking such small size. Like I took 50 shares here. Like I made, was it 30? Of course it's not going to be there now. It was like $34, I think it was. Just taking 250 share lots. So if I doubled that to 100 and made the same trade, now we're talking 60 some dollars. And that's just on 200 shares over the course of, 2 trades. And then again, you can easily make, again, people are trading, 500,000. Right here, there's 3,400 shares sitting there at 6,750. Like people are trading that many shares. So it's like, even if I got up to 500 shares, add a zero to that, that's $340 instead of $34. So I don't really see scaling being too difficult when it comes to it. So, and when I'm scaling, instead of 50 shares, I'm going to be going to 75 shares. I'm not going to be going right to 100. I'm in this for the long haul. I'm in this to not ever go broke at that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not making those MTSI trades anymore. I'm cutting them out completely. We're here to keep our losses small, take the green trades when we have them, and let them add up. So that's all. It's difficult to scale using a martingale betting strategy versus using an anti-martingale strategy time-wise. But when did I say I was using a martingale betting strategy? Because I'm not. I'm not only scaling. I'm not scaling and using, like, I'm not considering it like house money. Or are you still going off of when I gave that example of the guy from Twitter earlier? I'm confused. There's no part of me that's saying, hey, $400 up now. I'm going to use that $400 on top to really scale up. Like, no, that's not what I'm doing. Basically, I'm building my bankroll. It's just like poker. Like, you start off at 1-2 if you're playing live, and then you build up your bankroll at 1-2 until you have enough to where you have enough buy-ins to play 2-5, and then you go from 2-5 to 5-10, and then you go from 5-10 to 10-20, and then from 10-20 to 25-50, and so forth. It's kind of the same thing with trading. You can start with 50 shares. You can start with 25 shares. Start with 25 shares, you go to 50. You start with 50, you go to 75. You go to 75, you go to 100. You go to 100, you go to 150. You go to 150, you go to 200. 200, you go to 250. 250, you go to 300. Like, you just inch your way up, right? You shouldn't be going like 50 to 100, 100 to 200, 200 to 400. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. I actually am highly against that, because that's one way to not blow your account, but get you right back to where you started, per se. Whereas if I just go up to 75 shares, and instead of having a $100 loss, I have a $150 loss. Whereas if I would have went from 50 to 100 shares, it would have been a $200 loss. And that's a much bigger hit to my account than a $150 loss. Obviously, they're both bigger losses, but again, it's like you need to kind of inch your way into it. So if I just go up to 75 shares instead of 50 on these types of stocks, and to answer, who else asked that? Raid, do you have max share? Not really. It depends. It really depends on the range of the stock, but I would say the max I would start with on a stock right now is probably like 300-400. Just depending. Like, if it's a $1.30 stock and I see the range is like to $1.70, I'm not going to start it with 50 or 100 shares. Like, you're going to use more share size on that. But you get what I'm saying. Hi, do you know OMFG? I love them. The OMFG. Is that a band? For a second, I thought you meant LMFAO, and I was going to be like, hell yeah, who doesn't love shots? OMFG. Kind of. Is it? I see there's a YouTube channel, LM or OMFG. Is that who we're talking about? I'm kind of scared to listen to this on stream, but it is on YouTube. Let's see. I can do. I can do this with my eyes closed. I can do this with my eyes closed. I like this. I can do this with my eyes closed. I can do this with my eyes closed. This is like my type of music. You should hear them in these headphones. Yeah, peanut butter and jelly time. Dude, that music's awesome. That, like, I really like that intro. Hopefully that's not the best they got. Vamos pa la playa. Sorry, that was Corey. I may, when I get monetized at a thousand subscribers, but as of right now, no. I surely am not. Speaking of that, yeah, that is by far the best meme account. Are you enjoying that, Thomas? That was. I'm subscribing. I need to check them guys out. That is like the type of music I listen to. Like when dubstep first came out. I am a huge dubstep guy. My favorite band growing up was Linkin Park. I used to fall asleep to Linkin Park Hybrid Theory. That's my kind of music. Good old alternative rock / just that mix of rock into more. It was like more rock, but it was alternative rock, that kind of stuff. Back when the emo rock was kind of big. But then like dubstep and like this like trance dance type stuff started coming out, and I was just like, this is my jam. I love that stuff. What was I about to do? Oh, yeah, we're at 381. I totally meant to do this way earlier, but I love how I said my hard stop was at 12 o'clock. I'm really bad at setting hard stops. But yeah, we're at 381. We're going to be doing a giveaway for anybody that's still here for 400 subscribers. Obviously, this doesn't apply to people that are already in ISW. But just like 100, 200, and 300 subscribers, I really hope by now people understand the value of a week with the ISW scanners as well as the Learning Center and coming in the chat room. You guys can see exactly who I'm talking about, who trades day in and day out, just absolutely nailing these trades. And yeah, that's going to be for 400 subscribers. We're going to be giving away another free week. I'll put that video out at some point next week. So a VT button. What do you mean a button? Oh, like a pin? Like a pin you put on your shirt? Be interesting. It would be the right shape. Be pretty interesting. Probably be a lot easier to make those too. So yeah, that's what it's going to be. Respect your hard stop. Yeah, I'm going to regret it when I have to wake up earlier in the morning. Yeah, what do you guys think about? I mean, I tried going back sort of to the old. Oh crap! I got to get that off of there. The old thumbnail. So like I was doing these type. I want to try. Let's since we're all still here, I kind of want to try like just getting rid of the small account part. Maybe see what that looks like. Maybe even take the orange that we have. Where's my... the heck? Oh, it's like over there. Interesting. It's kind of weird that it would be like that. Oh, of course I didn't save it. Son of a... Well, we'll start with this, but... So, essentially, I just moved this. I used a better... just get rid of that. We'll just use that for now. And then I used a better thumbnail from today, which was this one. I feel like it wasn't getting the same effect. The new... keep hitting the wrong, but there we go. The one with just the chart and the orange saying live trading. So I was trying to go back with the the older one a little bit because it seemed to get a little bit more of attention. So if I could change, I was thinking about changing this to just saying live day trading. Oops. Put that there. And then like say for instance, we're using the same bit emoji. I'm going to just kind of throw that in there. Put that at, say, like 75 so you can kind of see through. Something like that. Maybe change the color a little bit. Let's see. Into like an orange. I really like orange, as you can tell. That's a little bright of an orange. A little bit darker, like something like that. No. I'd have to find the other orange that I had. I really like that orange. Maybe something a little darker like that. Yeah. I don't know, something like that. Put BTC. On TradeNet, stay away. All the people that have been successful in TradeNet, they get screwed. Whether it's all over the place. GDT was with them. As you can tell, he left. Whelan, when he called them out, obviously you can see that all his videos got taken down. Pretty sure some kind of settlement was reached there. I need to save this, by the way, real quick before I forget. Let's do back to the old. But yeah, I was just messing around with these. I don't know. Just like these didn't seem to get as much reception. I thought maybe just throwing the chart out there and making them a little bit more simplistic. But I think this is a little bit better than what this was. Just because I think these were just a little too crowded. The emojis were just a little too big. I do like the idea of having the chart in there at some point. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, TradeNet, I would just stay away. Unless there's one reason I would say to use TradeNet, and that is yeah, he does have a better beard than me. I was like, if you look at all of these, I wish I could blow this up somehow, but yeah, his beard's so perfect. If you're a new trader and you plan to paper trade on a demo account or whatever for like 2 or 3 months, it actually could be cheaper to use a TradeNet account. So if for some reason you do end up making some money, whether it's not a lot of money or whatever, you could essentially withdraw it when you're done. Whereas in like if you were to paper trade with CMEG, it's $150 a month. Same with SureTrader. Anything that uses DOS platform, it's $150 a month just to use the demo. But if you're using TradeNet for say 3 months, and if you get like a sale where they do the $350 or $400 or whatever it is, it basically pays for itself. And then at the end of the 2 or 3 months, if you have money left over, or you actually made some money or whatever, you could actually withdraw it at the end of that. So that's the only way I would ever recommend TradeNet for something, is to use it as a demo account, basically, because the odds are if you make money on there, it's been pretty proven that you're not going to get that money. So TradeNet is basically geared towards just sucking people in. Here's a lot of money to trade for $400. Yeah, because it sounds too good to be true. It's because it is. So just if you're looking for a real place to trade, don't use TradeNet. It's just that simple. I'm not, and that's that's a broker, so that's different. I'm not like calling out a YouTuber. I'll say I don't really like necessarily call people out, but I guess that's kind of calling TradeNet out, but it's just the truth. It's out there. and been proven. So yeah. And you and your Bitcoin. I don't trade Bitcoin. You know what I do trade? I trade CRCT. Oh, look, somebody. It's going up. It's going up. I actually have quite a bit of CRCT at this point. If you guys want some free CRCT, where's my my tweet? My tweet to tweet. Where is it? Or hold on, it's up here. There it is. So if you go to Circuit's website, I don't think it has 10 uses anymore. Go to their website, go to Getting Started, download the wallet, get your receive code, come to the faucet, grab volatility trading. It is caps sensitive. You just put it in here. I am not a robot. Let me pull up my wallet and get my receive. Copy. Put it in there and claim it. So as you can see, I only got 39 because I obviously can't get my own reward. So you get anywhere between 15 and 50, and you can do this every single day. So it'll send it right to your wallet. But if you come and do it with that volatility trading code, you actually get 500, and then plus whatever the faucet gives you. So that's pretty cool. And if you end up getting 2,000, you actually become a staker. And yeah, you just kind of earn some every single time that you are part of the chain. So once you get essentially every 10,000 at 1 Satoshi, which is as low as it can go, is $1. So if you can get just 10,000, that's $1. So up here, if you were to sell it now, because somebody's buying 33,000 at 5 Satoshi, you could sell your 10,000 at 5 Satoshi, and that would be $5. So it adds up. And then there's master nodes and all that stuff too. But yeah, I have 65,000 some sitting here at 13 Satoshi, which would be nice. So essentially that's like $6.60 times 13. So what is that? We'll just do 65696. Nope, doing that wrong. 6.5. So we'll just do 7 times 13. So it's $85. And I actually have, looking in my wallet, don't want to disclose, but I have more than that. So if for some reason it gets up there, it's just like the stock market, pretty much, bid and ask. And yeah. So I actually was lucky enough when everything first started. I put in to buy a bunch at 1, and somebody sold a bunch at 1, and I got it. I got it all. Give it to me. So yeah, that was pretty cool. All right. Hard stop, 12:45. Questions, ask away. Let's go. You got 10 minutes, 30 seconds, and then we're out of here. You are a great teacher. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm trying to be, That's why we're here. We're here to learn together. Let's do it, right? We all want to grow. Let's grow organically. Let's get it done, right? Let's get it done. I'm out. Got to get up for work in a few hours. Can't wait to be full-time trading. Yes, sir. I can't wait. And, I can wait, but I can't wait till my kids are in school. The day that I can come home after dropping them off and be in a quiet house to trade. Like, imagine if I'm doing all of this. I'm learning how to trade. I'm becoming profitable. At least I feel like I'm becoming profitable. I feel like I'm at that break even point now. All while having to deal with kids on a daily basis. Like, imagine like when I can actually just sit here and focus 100% and not have that like random dad or random cry or just all the random stuff that goes along with having a 1 and 3-year-old at your side at all times. Oh, it's going to be crazy. I'm not, like Thomas just said, I'm not going to know what to do with myself. It's going to be crazy. What are the hardest things about being a stay-at-home dad? Staying productive, believe it or not, like as a dad, especially when you want to be so focused on trading, it's like you find yourself trying to 50-50 instead of where honestly trading should only be like 20% and like the kids should be 100% at any, like obviously at any given time. If my kids need something, I get up, and that's why OCX actually happened. But now I've kind of learned, hey, if I have to get up, hard stop and stuff like that. And I'm actually going to be making a hot button. I actually meant to show you. I didn't say anything yet, but I'm going to be adding 2 hot buttons, or actually just 1 hot button, just to set a stop for whatever my position is, just in case I do have to get up, where it's going to be one where it's like 5 cents or 10 cents or something. Like if I'm just like, okay, if it's near a top or something. But then another one that's like 50 cents. So like if it's making a move down, it's kind of like just a precaution, so that like if it runs, I can just hit that button real quick. Like if it's an emergency kind of thing, I don't want to have to get up and sit here and like have to go, okay, position, stop type, market, or whatever, price. Like I want to be able to just hit a button and be able to get up. So that's kind of just a thing with the kids, because I always wonder, like if there's an emergency, I'm not going to just sit here and be like, oh, my trade's more important, because it's not. But if I can just literally click a button and know that I at least won't let the trade run against me like OCX did, I'll feel a lot better about it. My money. But I would say the hardest thing is really, just kind of staying productive in the form of the kids. As far as I never was a person that liked school. So trying to teach them like stuff, like doing the repetitiveness of school, like reading the same books over and over again, trying to teach them how to write, I enjoy doing those things, but having to like repetitively do it over and over and over, like to me, that's the hard part. And that's what I mean by being productive, just by forcing yourself to do those things because you have to do them for them. But it's tough. It's very stressing, and taxing, I guess is a better word. But yeah, now when it comes time to play with them, I mean, that's where just seeing their smile, like hearing them laugh, seeing them progress, like all of those things, it just makes it all worth it. You can have the worst day. This isn't even a lie. That day I lost with OCX, the $1,200 and some dollars. It wasn't all in one day, but when the trade went against me, once I kind of like settled down from that, my kid wouldn't leave me alone. And my oldest, and he just randomly, I was like down over like $2,000 unrealized at the time, and he just started laughing for no reason. And it just brought a smile to my face. Like it was impossible not to smile in the moment. I just completely like lost track of the fact that I was down $2,000 because in the end, it it really is just money, right? Obviously, we're here to make the money trading the stock market, but if you can get your priorities right in life, a lot of things will follow. And I there's a saying that I like to live by, and I've lived by this pretty much. I've been saying this forever, since I was in high school, and it goes with everything. It goes with your spouse, it goes with your kids, it goes with your job. But the saying is, if you take care of the little things, the big things will take care of themselves. And it's so true. It's so true that if you just concentrate on doing all the little things, the big things will take care of themselves. So that's kind of where I'm at with the kids. It's like, I know that if I just stick with it and take care of all these little things, if I randomly do special things for the wife, like buy some flowers here and there, just, give the random hugs and kisses and I love yous, just, put in the random live streams every single Friday, do the little things, do all the videos throughout the week. Like eventually on the grand scale, the big things, they will take care of themselves. Your wife will eventually maybe see that you do all these things, and it just makes life easier. Happy wife, happy life. Eventually, all the little things that you did for your kids, they turn out to be a great adult. Like it's just, yeah, that's one of the best sayings I've heard in my life, and I live by it. And yeah, so being a stay-at-home dad, if I'll tell you every day that it sucks, but it's worth it. It's amazing. I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's one of them things where you love to hate it. So, yeah. Any other questions? I got 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm going to nail the outro this time. Yeah, man, I'm not planning on it. This is something that I don't even care how big we get. If we were Ross Cameron size, I'd be here hanging with you guys. And at that point, I would like to think that I know a lot more than I do, and people might respect me as a trader a lot more. And I'd be sitting here trying to teach you the ways. I wouldn't be trying to sit here and sell you a course. So that's where me and him would differ. I wouldn't be spending boatloads of money on advertising and making commercials and buying office space and all this BS. But hey, if that's the way he wants to make his money, then go for it. I want to make my money in the market, which is why we're here. I want to prove not only to myself, but, it's not really to prove to anybody, to be honest. It's more so just to provide financial freedom for my family. I want to be able to, at the drop of a hat, just go on a summer vacation that we didn't have planned to Europe or to Australia or just wherever, and it not matter. Like that's what I want. I want to be able to do things with my kids that I wasn't able to do growing up. Our vacations were, 6-hour road trips to like North Carolina from Maryland is where I live, to go to Outer Banks or South Carolina, go to Myrtle Beach, or just go to amusement parks like Hershey Park or Kings Dominion, stuff like that. We never, I've never left the country. The only time I've left the country was on cruises, like down in the Bahamas and stuff like that, and to the Caribbean. So, I mean, I've been to Canada when we went to Niagara Falls, but it's not. I want to explore the world. I love to travel, from what I have experienced, and I want to do that, and I want to be able to do it with my kids. No. Nobody trades options here. Get out of here. Just kidding. Some people might. I don't trade options. I don't really see the point. I mean, unless you're looking to trade the big name stocks, but there's plenty of stocks down in the price range that I look for, so I have no need. Ain't no way you nail the exit. What are you talking about? Oh, nail it. Watch me. Oh, I only got 10 seconds. Like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. Questions or comments, leave those down below. And have a good weekend. Don't forget about the giveaway if you want to partake in that. I'll put that video up soon. I always appreciate hanging out with you guys. Always appreciate the support. I like hanging out with you guys. Appreciate the support. I'm tired. As you can tell, I'm probably starting to sound tired. We'll be here every Friday, except for when I go on my cruise. 15 days now. We got 15 days left on the cruise. I will miss that week. I won't have any videos up, but I'll put up a video about me missing that week. So, yeah, that'll be the first week I've missed. That'll be kind of weird. No kids. We're not taking the kids, just me and the wife. It's going to be nice. But, yeah, until that happens, live cruise stream. I'm not sure you're going to want to see a live cruise stream unless you're into that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Some other things. I'm not sure if I'm going to go the route of some of the other YouTubers and try to record some fancy vacation video, but I mean, I'll obviously be recording that type of stuff, but probably just for us. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. I have the GoPro. We're going snorkeling. We got a nice cool bike ride that we're going to be doing and stuff, so we'll see. But all right, guys, have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday morning, or probably Monday afternoon, because that's when I post my videos. And anything else? Nope. Okay. Good night. Peace.